This is Ola, man of prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here. Come on now, here it goes tonight. My God. Oh yeah, Opaki, Significa. Aya, aya. My God. My God said, Chibeke, Kibe, Isabu Tower, Memo Tano Sobua. I got bigger, Isabu Tower, Memo Tano Sobu. I got bigger, the Kilama say, I believe for God. My God. Oh yeah, Opaki, Significa, my God. Okay, I know you. Oh yeah, Ikedimelu, Ikedimala, Ikediyebedile, my Jesus carry me high. Oh yeah, Ikedimelu, Ikedi, Ikedi, Ikedimelu, Ikedi, my God, oh yeah, welcome. Welcome, Uncle Beno. How are you doing, my brother? How are you, sir? All right, welcome everybody, Prestige family. Good to see you all. We have a fantastic show lined up for you today. Yes. We're back at it. I took a few days off so I can back off of that Regina slash Ned story. But that's what's been in the news, Let's not front. So, but of course, I had to show up again so that we can continue to dish out the most important lessons of them all, which is our relationships, how to thrive in healthy relationships. That's what this is all about. We're not here to gossip, right? We want to learn some lessons, we want to rub minds together. Please engage in the chat, hit the like button, share, subscribe, top your notifications so you're notified when we go live. So yes, we do have a good show lined up for you today. I promise you. Okay. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I will be right back. This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife, Lola, and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here. All right, welcome back, everybody. As usual, we're just going to catch up on some of the trendy stuff, but we're here to extract some real life lessons out of them. Okay, so today I'll be focusing heavily on power dynamics, not just obviously at a societal level, but also in our family structure, even at your personal level. I always talk about managing your expectations. I always talk about managing pride, right? And all of those things point back to understanding power dynamics. And a lot of people don't realize that. Oftentimes, we map a lot of our conversations back to power as we see it in a more obvious way, like the obvious ones. For example, Ned has a lot of power as a senator, right? And we tend to see things from that standpoint. And we look at things from an extreme point of view, right? It's either Ned is a victim or he's a villain, and we don't really pay attention to all the nuances of that. But with that being said, there's some news here, some update from their story. Their story has absolutely been probably the greatest seasonal show on the internet. in all of year round, everybody is saying this is November to remember, just because of Ned and Regina Daniels. All right, so that's a good to see you, Jerry Uncle Beno. All right, so now with that being said, I want to do a quick update on what's actually going on. I'm looking here on my saved information. I saw this post, right? I saw this post. Let's make it bigger.
Is this something you're hiding from me?
No, we're live.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we're just live. No.
So what you're looking at, it looks like she was live, and she was live on whatever, Instagram or TikTok. You can see Partnet walks in, right? And this was posted on October 19, right? But this probably happened long before that. The caption on Gist Lover says, just in, Nigerians are now digging out all old videos of interactions between actress Regina Daniels and her estranged ex-billionaire husband Nwoko. Do you see anything wrong with this video? Let me shock you, okay? I'm looking at Victoria Inyama. I think she was an actress. She said, I felt the fear in her voice. God keep her sane and safe. This was 2 days after the news broke that she ran away. Well, was it run away, or that she was allegedly being abused by way of some people that Ned sent to the house to ruffle her up, right? So let me play this again. Do you hear the fear in her voice? She did seem startled a little bit, and once he walked in, she seemed a little bit startled, but I don't know.
What?
Baba said, what?
Is there something you're hiding from me?
No, we're live.
Baba said, is there something you're hiding or what? Investigative journalism. Everybody's a journalist these days.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we're just live. No, like live. There's nobody.
She said, we're just live. Type shit. We're just live. Baba said, is there anything you're hiding from me?
Who are you chatting with? Are you hosting it?
Yeah, we're just on like live video and just talking.
Yeah, with who?
With people on live.
Okay, now I'm saying no.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right, so I couldn't really deduct too much from the video, but Yoruba people say, of course, people will start digging up stuff and start interpreting all kind of weird interpretations from every little action. There's no one event. Let's just say this. The only thing we can look at, all of us can fairly look at patterns and say, this person be this relationship or has a pattern. And you can't really start reading patterns until you've seen at least 3 events, 3 similar comparable events. Okay, that is. So I don't really see much in just this one event. Overall, you already know my take in terms of overall everything we've seen. And I always make it a point to say in the news, because we don't know what happened behind the scenes with any one of these people. But I can tell you that some things are just obvious. Okay. Somebody said not only the man being insecure, Gina too seems scared. Almost she was startled, probably because if you want to go that direction, let's not go that direction. Let's just say, okay, this is just a one-time event. Somebody said the man is not insecure. He's asking questions, and when satisfied, he moved. Big difference. Okay, I can see that. Someone said, after all the juju, you make the girl swear. You still dey insecure. After all the juju, you make the girl swear. You still dey insecure. Interesting. All right, so let me see here. Somebody said, our mom lived the life she couldn't live through her daughter. Sad. Okay, so people are still bringing up the mom. I'm going to get to the updates today, I promise. Okay, there's some updates. I'm going to get to that, but I saw this was posted October 19. I thought it was interesting, at least to spell out this lesson. There's no one event or one entity or one anything or person that can determine your fate in this life. Okay, It takes a couple, two or three, right? You have to establish witness when it gets to two or three. Personally, safely, I go with three. So, for example, if I'm using my words to communicate with you and you know they listen, right? After two or three, I see a pattern. Then I can safely establish a simple fact that, okay, well, there's a pattern here. This thing doesn't work this direction. You understand what I'm saying? So, and it's safe. It doesn't mean it's always right. It just means it's safe. In that same token, you can't just pull up one video and say, this means somebody is insecure. You can't just say, oh, because this person acts this way, this person must be a narcissist. Like, no, you're wrong. Okay, you're wrong. And if you look at yourself, whenever you throw this kind of accusation points around, you've pointed it to a couple of people or entities or events, but there's only one common denominator: you. The pattern is you. Oftentimes, you need to work on yourself. That's why you keep me say the first step in all of this is self-work. Self-work. If you notice that you keep attracting the same type of guy, the common denominator is you. It has nothing to do with blame or guilt. Okay? It has everything to do with empowering yourself. You look at these patterns and you look at it, you use it to build intelligence for yourself. That's how you build intelligence over a period of time. Not by looking at one, and then you're like, me, I just did me, it's just me. Exactly. It's just you. And again, I'm not blaming you. I'm telling you, you might want to pay attention to certain behaviors. If you're the only one that tend to see red flag every single time, every time they look at something, you're the one seeing red flag. You have to self-reflect and say, hey, why is it I'm the only person, right? But what if it's just me and three of my friends? Yeah, your friends. You tend to be a summation, average of the closest 5 friends to you. There's layers to it, right? So at what point are people ever guilty? If, let's say, you're dealing with this one person, right? And you're trying to see a certain behavior, you monitor that behavior over a period of time. If you notice that they keep showing up a certain way, you better believe them. You see how that works? Believe them for who they are, right? So at that point in time, you're dealing with that one person, but they keep showing up with their hair. But you can't just keep picking narcissistic behavior all around town and then you're telling me that it's the rest of the world. No, it is you. Okay, because there's more than enough narcissistic people in the world. You're absolutely right about that part, but it is only you that tend to detect them. You should pay attention to that. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe. I've got more. We got some more. We're just catching on some of the updates from the Regina Daniels and the Paned story. I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife, Lola, and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So today we woke up to a whole letter. Today will be 18th of November. There's a whole Paned is still speaking. He speaks out. So let me get through that letter and then we'll talk about it. Shall we? Let's have it. All right. So this letter says Senator Ned Nwoko is not chatting with Regina and does not want her back in the house. A lot of people speculate and say, oh, you still want her. No, she doesn't want her. Leave her alone now. Let her be now. Just leave her alone. Let her go. And then eventually you're like, okay, what about her children? What about custody arrangements? What about the rest of our lives? What about what do you call it? Her livelihood, right? Because it was obvious that her lifestyle was around this guy's money, right? From what we can see. At least that's what most people believe, right? So here's the letter. Senator Ned Nwoko is not chatting with Regina and does not want her back in the house. All he is insisting on is that she should be encouraged to go to therapy. Nigerians, including women, struggle
with what therapy is for. I heard a bunch of people yesterday say, hey, there's nothing crazy about the child. Why does the child need therapy? I'm like, hey, in 2025, oh, we already know men already struggle with that, but it's kind of wild, Anyway, it's okay. Therapy, let me just say, therapy is not for crazy people. Seeking wise counsel is not for crazy people. It's for every human being that will experience adulting. Sometimes this thing can be difficult. Life can be difficult, and sometimes you need to seek somebody else's wise counsel. And there are professionals in that respect today. Sometimes you just want to make it easy instead of spreading your issues around your family and friends. You just want to just pay somebody to handle this part. Give me what's your what? They have no bias. They just know some things at a professional level. They can hear things from an objective standpoint, and they can give you counsel. It doesn't mean they're right. They're just giving you professional opinion. And yes, it works. Okay. But anyway, let's see. It is important to state that Regina continues to be completely under the influence of hard drugs, and whatever she says are lies from the pit of hell. Just look at the language from a senator's desk. For example, now this is about his wife. For example, the allegations of drugs and sex are a figment of her wild imagination and can never be substantiated. Please look at a verifiable WhatsApp message from Senator Nwoko to Regina on the 17th of October. Okay, so this message is not coming from Prince Nwoko himself. It's coming from his desk. Okay, let's continue. This message contains the last documented communication of expression of frustration and ultimatum of return, and I quote, return to rehabilitation, or no longer will fund your lifestyle. Close quote. Okay. So if you don't do what I tell you to do, which is to go to Morocco or come back into that bedroom in that house for rehabilitation, he will no longer fund her lifestyle. Okay. There's a name for this, but I'm going to slow down a little bit because I want to know if you guys will pick it up. It was after this message that Regina went violent and berserk, destroying cars and other properties. According to Senator Nwoko, she was not violent previously. She began to lie about everything. She became dirty. Our environment became dirty. He had to encourage her to shower. He had to encourage her to go to sleep in our room. Within the last 8 months, Regina became something else. Then came Fina. Isn't Fina that lost her sister not too long ago? Then came Fina with her friends. He tolerated them only because he was trying to manage Regina's situation. He woke up one morning around 5 a.m. to use the bathroom and suddenly found Regina in his bedroom. He was shocked that she videoed him in the bathroom and posted it online. That is how irrational she had become in those moments. If anyone around her claims to love her and care for the kids, they should take her to a respected rehab center and all this nonsense will stop. Now, this is the WhatsApp message that they were referencing that apparently Senator Ned Nwoko sent on 17th of October. This doesn't look like a screenshot from a WhatsApp, but let's just take it since it was posted on his page. Okay, so this is the message. It said, I won't accept your friends coming here at odd hours again. First, it was glam on Sunday night. I spoke with two of you to go to sleep at 1 a.m. or she should leave. She didn't do either. It was an all night of noise and music and all that goes with it. By 3 a.m., another two friends, Fina and Co., joined you. They left the following afternoon. Again, today, I asked you to go to bed at 3 a.m. You refused. It was the noise of doors downstairs that woke me up. Lo and behold, you and Sonia were heading to your room at exactly 3:30 a.m. You have shown so much disrespect in the past few days. I don't know who is giving you drugs amongst them, and this lifestyle is totally unacceptable, and we can't continue like this. It is either you continue with your therapy or you check into the rehab in Asokoro.
My health is deteriorating because of your situation. I am worried about your life and what will happen with the kids. More importantly, I won't fund your lifestyle again until you are fully rehabilitated. All right. It's repeat. Okay, this is the part where he said he won't fund the lifestyle. The above clear and verifiable WhatsApp message was sent to Regina on the 17th of October. Because of this stage, it was impossible to talk to her. She was doing well with rehabilitation until her birthday when her friends arrived and she said she would drink and smoke to celebrate. She hired a complete floor at Destination Hotel in Wuse 2, where they all stayed for 4 days of drugs and violence and fights with police and other guests. This was the beginning of the end. For now, the focus is for all of us to take collective responsibility to ensure she goes in for therapy, rehabilitation. At least let her stay alive for the sake of her two lovely boys. When clarity returns, truth will speak for itself. The communication team to Ned Nwoko. All right, so what I've been doing so far, if you haven't seen, if you haven't noticed, if you just came in, make sure you hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notification. That is the letter from that Ned Nwoko posted today, or his communication team posted that today. So what I want to do right about now is I want to look at some of the responses right here on this is Gist Lover and some other platform, Linda EKG, and see what people are saying about that. And then I will have a word about that. My overall already right now is that be careful when you are contributing your own opinions to conjugal matters. The reality is that we never know what happened behind closed doors. Okay, that's why the idea of looking for who to blame is always out the window. We don't do that here. However, we can look at what people are saying and we can say, hey, you too, you can take responsibility there. Taking responsibility does not mean you are blamed. It doesn't translate to blame. Holding yourself accountable to your part in a situation has nothing to do with blame. The average black person interprets take responsibility, be accountable as blame, and that's a problem. I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
All right, welcome back. So I just read the letter from Ned Nwoko. He had a lot to say, through his communication team. It's a statement basically to re-emphasize that Ned is a victim and the villain is Regina Daniels. As you can see in my thumbnail, Ned is saying, please save me. And Regina is saying, go to hell, leave me alone, right? So, of course, more than enough people in the general populace have determined that Ned is the victim. Senator Ned, all-powerful Senator Ned Nwoko of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, representing, was it Delta North or something like that, is the victim in all of this situation. All right. So, but let me look at what some of the comments are saying on here. The first comment I'm looking at says he needs to go to the rehab button. And that's the most popular Nigerians. So a lot of people, of course, they're not accepting, like saying, no, leave this girl alone. Okay. And more than enough people are saying, hey, pay attention to the fact that this girl she gets high. Possibly. There's no proof of it. The only proof that came out has been debunked by the hospital. Some people say the hospital never said. The hospital never said that it wasn't true. Even Ned Nwoko said it himself. A statement came out of his camp that the hospital never said it's true, that's the truth instead of that letter, right? And the hospital came out and debunked the reports because obviously they will get in trouble for releasing personal information. Now, what we don't know is even if you go to, let me tell you something. There are people that do fake drug screen, even here in the United States, right? They're supposed to do drug screen for work, but there's ways that they can cut around that, and they might have been on something last night and they will come out with negative test today, right? So we don't know what we don't know. All of this doesn't mean anything. The only thing I can point out for you here is relationships, right? Relationships, we don't need evidence. We can literally see what the last 3 sentences you made, and we know what kind of human being you are inside of a relationship. Okay. Power dynamics, we can easily look around us and say, hey, who is the most powerful between Nwoko and Regina Daniels? We can tell you that when it comes to money and power within that Nigerian society is Nwoko. It's obvious. That's why he's trying to use that ultimatum, but he's using that ultimatum against a new type of power, which is 15 million monitoring spirits on the internet, half of which are haters because they can't stop talking about how that girl was riding in the Lamborghini and saying she will rather cry in the Lamborghini. You're just jealous of that girl. It's okay. It's okay. I know you couldn't wait to tell I told you so. Okay, I told you so, Regina. Now let's move on to the most important part of these lessons. But before I get into that, let me continue. Okay. Somebody said, does he know she can go to rehab under her parents' care? Okay. They're not having it. They're not taking her word. So since where Baba released this girl, now press release won't kill Baba. Now, because it's trying to control the narrative. If you have to try to control the narrative more than twice, more than 3 times, it's probably not working. And you're probably operating from a place of panic, anxiety, right? Of course, it's easy to say, but this is a press statement by his team. No, that Baba is panicking right now, and that girl knows way too much than she needs to know. And I keep telling you, this is not, gentlemen, this is not about getting behind Regina. It's about telling you to be careful of the Reginas out there. Okay, while you are chasing after virgins and you think you can exercise this 1960 version of power, where you think you can just marry any wife anyhow because you think you have money. You keep advising each other, just keep your eyes on the bag, just get money, and suddenly relationships will work itself out. It's a lie. It's a lie. Because what you're going to do is you're going to attract Reginas. Okay, you become an easy target. You're not going to listen to me, of course, because you want to play the victim by all means. Okay, did I already say it? Ned is not the victim here. Let's keep going. EPA, you go to the rehab to help. Okay, that's what some people are saying. Now, under Stella Demokoko's blog, let me see the top comment here. Let me see if anything interesting is going. Somebody said, and I quote, I told her to go to bed by 3 a.m. Can you now see that you're supposed to be her daddy instead of husband? Because it's only a child that you can instruct on when to go to sleep. Back in the days, people can dash you a girl, 18-year-old girl, even unfortunately 13-year-old down to 9 years old. They'll just dash you, this is your wife. In fact, they said inside of the traditional, what do you call it, customary marriage law, from birth, they can dash a girl out for marriage. As in legally. Of course, anything else that happened after that, I don't want to speak about it because those are extremes and they are beyond me. Okay, what I can tell you is that even when a person is 18 years old, they are not matured yet. That's true across the board 99.9% of the time. So it is weird. It is absolutely weird to try to marry a 21-year-old girl. See, that's legal, right? A 21-year-old girl in 2025, you're a weirdo. Okay, is it not legal? That's a stupid question. I keep telling you, it's a stupid question. You're going to ask stupid question and get yourself into trouble. Because it's not going to stop at marrying a virgin at 21. That mindset is going to spread into every other aspect of your life where you're waiting for things to be illegal before you realize that it is not necessarily wise for you to participate in it. You see? Let's keep going. So this person say, see, you're supposed to be her daddy. You can see how she's acting over the past few days. Some people say, but it's because she's high. No, high only magnifies who you are. Okay, if she's high at all, we don't know if she's high, but the highness will only magnify who she is already. Okay, but you can see that girl is young. There's no reason in this. See, back in the days, because of the power dynamics from back then, right? That society back then, it was okay. Right, but all those people collect too. Don't get it twisted. Many of their wives cheated on them by the baba at the backyard. Okay, but we don't have any records. because there's no data, right? But we know human beings have always been human beings, right? So, but today we have data. Everybody is carrying a phone. Everybody is carrying a phone, a device that's recording, that's documenting everything, right? So we can see everything. So now more than ever before, you have to use your senses. You can't just do things just because it looks good from a common sense standpoint. Because look at how this Baba has been running all over the place, doing press release all the time. And he still thinks he's the victim. Well, good for him. If you want to play the victim, you're automatically, instantly, you become right instantly.
Oh, you're right.
If you think you're a victim, to me, you're right. Okay, I'm not going to. I'm going to try not to victim shame. Sometimes I will, just to help you correct your head. But I'm going to try not to victim shame, to empower you. But if you conclude that you're a victim, I can't. That's it. I have to agree with you, including Paned. When it comes to our context here, this learning relationships, learning power dynamics, learning how life actually works in the grand scheme of things, not inside of your stupid court that's still basically subject to human determination and what do you call it? There's a word I'm looking for. It's humans that will sit on the bench that will interpret the laws. But in real life, there's so many things that will happen that you can't always rationalize. This idea that you're going to rationalize everything into right and wrong, it's not always going to work. That's why you must always self-reflect, because you're a target. The more you think that life is fair, you become an easy target for your own self as an enemy. Anyway, I'll come to the chat in a second. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let me pay some bills. I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're still talking about Regina Daniels and Azadi, Nwoko, Senator Nwoko. So the drama is still going on. If you don't know the backstory, just Google their name. I'm not going to go through that. But let me see. James. Shout out to James. Hey, Oluremi, good to see you. Oluremi, Miss Oluremi, good to see you. James said, any parent with young adult children knows that they may go through a rebellious stage. James said he wanted her to sacrifice her youth. Well, I mean, isn't that the whole point? If you're looking for a virgin at 18, 17, 16, 21, they think like we're supposed to sit around and argue about our age. No, we don't got time for that. Okay, if you're marrying a 21-year-old girl, you deserve every childish behavior that comes with that. Okay, and you're right, it's legal to do, but you still deserve every childish behavior that comes with that, including if she wakes up 5 years from now, 6 years, she decides to run away. Okay, including if she decides to do what is a glam night Sundays and bring over Finna, you deserve that. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Okay, yes, you're the victim. You're right.
You're right.
Yep. Hey, Natu, good to see you, Natu. Let's see here. Mr. Luremi said, Turkish culture do marry their children at a young age. Yeah. But we see that if you go and fall in love with those kind of things in this time and age, it's not good. A lot of things you can contain, you won't be able to contain, because children will do stupid stuff. When I say children, sometimes that age will go as high up as 37. Okay, children will make stupid mistakes, and they will remind you, but I was a child, right? They'll remind you. So where's the surprise here in all of this? Where is the surprise exactly? I'm not sure where the surprise should be for a Paned and all the Paned supporters. Well, let's remove all this. You can't remove relationship. Either you go to society level, right? At a macro level, you come down to individual level, one person to one person's relationship. It's all relationships, okay? It's a molecule of relationships. It becomes society. The same rules apply for the most part. Okay, but we are very complex being. We try to break it down and separate it. Sometimes people will say, but relationship is different from marriage. I was like, how? In what way? The fact that somebody can escape easier than in one context? Okay, context is different. Of course, there's some differences here and there, but at the very core is the same principles. And that's why I'm talking about power dynamics. Okay, that's why I'm talking about power dynamics. I'll get to that in a second here. Somebody said, I think it is the senator that needs that therapy. I think so. How many times do you want to release press statements about what? That means you run out of whatever you think you had, and you're now afraid, you're shaking, you're all over the place. How many press statements to come and do explain? Tired. No evidence.
Explain, because no evidence.
One thing that people who have power but also understands power is they know not to over-explain themselves. They know that. Because the people you're trying to explain to, they already made up their mind. Yeah, including me. Because you were very obvious from the first 3 moves you made. It was very obvious to me that these are manipulative moves. Okay, that you're trying to control the narrative, you're trying to manipulate the general public. Will it work? Somebody said, but he wasn't manipulating Regina. Okay, you're right. At least he's trying to manipulate the general public. How many more proof do we need than multiple press releases, right? The only thing you can tell us about Regina is that she gets high. I think that's obvious to some of us too. Maybe not so obvious because we don't really have any proof, but it's possible. We know it's very possible. She's a young girl and she didn't get a chance to live her life. How in particular, because there are young girls that will happily stay in a marriage for a long time, even at a young age. But how in particular, she's not that chick. It's obvious that she's not going to stay in one place. So that's already, you're not telling us anything new. But there's a way, there's painting, there's ones and zeros, there's black and white, there's right and wrong, but there's a way you paint your words that creates a new interpretation in our heads. Okay, so for example, if you go with statements like, it is important to state that Regina continues to be completely under the influence of hard drugs, or whatever she says, her lies from the pit of hell. Okay, that's a heavyweight emotional statement to make, coming from a communication team. Fair enough. They're trying to control the narrative, but how many press releases? Because the idea is, let's remove emotions. That's the point of certain press release statements. They want to manipulate you to believe, to move in a certain direction, right? So people like me, I'm telling you, like, this is telling us something else. Forget the content of this letter itself. This is how many statements have we made in a short period of time? What's the motive? The motive cannot be to get her to rehab or therapy. That can't be the motive, because that's something that even the smallest children know, that you have to do that there's going to be some kind of staging or some kind of intervention. It's going to require patience, but you have to sell that person on the idea. And it's a very tough process. It's a process, but the more you involve the general public, the worse it gets. But clearly, the communication team at Prince Nwoko, they don't know this. They don't know this. And that's what you're looking at. So pay attention to the not so obvious stuff. Why are you releasing press statement on the same issue over and over as a whole honorable Senator Prince Nwoko of the Federal Republic of Nigeria could make sense? This sounds like there's confusion in that camp. Besides the fact that obviously Regina is confusing the shit out of them. Okay? She's dangerous to them. She has always been dangerous. She was a child, remember? Children are dangerous. You don't engage them in adult stuff. Don't you get it? You're the victim. Yes, you're right. Okay? That's what
You're right.
You're the victim. But you're responsible. You're responsible for not perpetuating your victimhood. And when I say victim, keep me in context here. Keep me in context, because you're not really a victim.
They use your function to play.
You're not really a victim. You're a powerful Nwoko, and there are better ways to use your time. You can use that to serve your constituency, right? Maybe you have multiple wives. Patience is going to be your first step here. Back off. All the press releases trying to tarnish this girl's images is firing back into your camp. It's destroying your reputation over and over again. Stop it. You have to stop it. Let me read it. Another one. Somebody said, even if this is true, let her go, sir. She is no more interested in the marriage. Let her mother and father take her by themselves to the rehab. Everybody on the other side of the argument are saying this, but yet the other side keeps claiming that somebody is sentimental and emotional. The other people are saying the reality is that this girl doesn't want to do. The other side is saying, no. But Baba just care. But Baba just came out and said, no, I don't care. Which one does he want? Or he just want to get her to rehab for our children. Okay. Now let's talk about how to get that done. It's definitely not going to be press release upon press release upon press release that are designed to tarnish this girl's image. It's only going to make things worse. Okay, it's only going to make things worse. Let me see here. After all, you did this to her. You introduced her to drugs. Okay, this person has concluded that Regina is also telling the truth. Listen, this idea of one person is lying, the other person is true, in a romantic relationship especially, everybody is telling their side of the story that makes them feel good, or makes, not even to make you feel good or to lie to you necessarily, sometimes to make themselves feel good. Somebody who wants to tell a story to make it look like they are innocent. This is not just Regina and Ned. This is what we all do. Because first of all, from a very basic standpoint, from a very surface level, just off of just surface level, we want to, we have different experiences. At a basic fundamental level, we can be in the same picture, we can be barking at each other, arguing with each other, right? And we can be having two different experiences. I might feel like I'm just trying to tell you the truth. You might feel like my own is too much. Two different experiences. But you know what makes people think it's the same experience that you're lying? Is pride. It's pride. I keep telling you, everything traces back to pride and unrealistic expectations. You just can't see. You can't fathom the idea that a person is having a different experience, right? So it's whoever beats whoever to the punch first. What happens? You start calling each other narcissists. Like that's going to evaporate your problem suddenly. Like, no, you are still in it. It's your problem. And you're responsible in participating in solving for it. And yes, you can start. Don't wait for the other person. Start. Lead in the direction that you want to go. See, human beings, everything is contagious. Okay? If you do the right thing, if you follow step, if you have the right support system, everything is contagious. So they're just doing what you like to do, basketballs. That's all. They're copying you. They're mimicking the way you treat yourself. The level of self-love and self-respect you have for yourself is what they are bringing to you. And of course, you just heard me saying I'm blaming you. That's what you just heard. But that's not the point. The point is take responsibility. All right, I've got one more segment on this. I'll be right back. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please go ahead and hit the like button right about now. We're talking about Regina Daniels and Ned Nwoko and this old drama on the internet for the past, since God knows how long. It's about 1 month now, since October 18. Oh, it's exactly 1 month since this whole saga started. So today is November 18. All right. So there's a lesson here that I want to pull out of this today. I wanted to share with you power dynamics in marriage. Okay. I want to share with you a simple breakdown when it comes to power dynamics in marriage. Power is always at play. There's no such thing as equality because of this. Precisely, there's no such thing as equality. There is a thing such as seeing each other as equal. Those are two different things, okay? You should see your partner as equal, like as we're equal in the eyes of God. You know, that kumbaya level of the conversation. You should, because it drives a lot of things. It's also help you drive from a place of equity. You understand that everybody does not start from the same place. There are strengths and there are weaknesses on both sides, and it's about complementing each other. That's one conversation. The other side of the conversation, there's always power dynamics at play in our interactions. And oftentimes, what happens? You find out that somebody feels some type of way. They feel some type of way. You've offended them. You have no idea what you did. Okay? They've offended you. They have no idea they've done anything wrong. Of course, you interpreted it as they're just being wicked. Why? Because you feel hurt. Of course, you are attacking back. You're defending yourself. Okay. Now you're being offensive because you've concluded that this person knows what they're doing. They're just being wicked. In fact, I was just watching a video the other, like a few hours ago. Somebody said, the worst thing. Oh, it's one of us here actually. She recorded a video, like, which does happen. It happens, but I'm saying majority of the cases it's not somebody just being wicked. Okay, if anything, if you need to conclude it from a standpoint of they're being wicked to themselves as well, because oftentimes we are our own worst enemy. Okay, sometimes we're shooting ourselves on the legs. Like, for example, you're offending the person that you're having sex with, somebody that you're doing life with, somebody that you have children with. You're offending them, you're shooting attacks at them, you're hurting yourself. Of course, you might not see it right now in the short term, but in due time it will show, it will reveal itself. You're hurting yourself basically, and it doesn't matter if the marriage is over, by the way. If you do that to a person that used to be your, like a person who is an ex, and you continue to do things to sabotage their happiness, you're hurting yourself. If you have children with them, especially, so who has more power in the relationship and how do they use it? Okay, power comes from multiple different sources, right? Power is not money. Power can be sourced from money. Okay, but there are a couple of things. There's money, there's age, right? There's status. Age, money, age, status. There's more. There is education. I have master degrees and you have what? You didn't finish your high school. In fact, we have no idea what you did with high school. We've never seen your testimonial before, right? That can create power dynamics in a marriage. Yeah, in very subtle, destructive ways. If you're not self-aware about it, right? To you, it's just a normal thing. You might even be like, hey, but I never use it to shame you. What's the problem? But they're already feeling some type of way. So it is always working behind the scenes, either for or against you. Power dynamics is a real thing. So education, influence, right? Influence. You marry a $10 daughter. It's not just about $10 daughter. There's a lot of things that goes into that, right? You marry Temi or $10. That comes, so you better know what you're doing, right? Of course, right? Family background, emotional strength, okay? The fact that you are more emotional intelligence is not the end of it. It can actually be what can backfire because you are hearing things that the other person cannot hear. But if you struggle with humbling yourself and realizing that that's emotional intelligence is not as common as we make it seem. It's just not, okay? Because we all get caught up in our emotions. If I feel some type of way, I feel some type of way. Oftentimes, I can't put a finger on it, but I just feel some type of way, right? The only difference, I obviously, because I teach this stuff a lot, I can tell that I feel some type of way. Let me go and rest. Let me go and take a shower. Drink some cold water, right? But most people just react and they just act like the whole world is against them, right? So even the idea that you have more social media followers than me, yes, that creates power dynamics. You don't realize? Yes, and it can tamper with relationships. So the problem starts when one person is using the power to control. That's where it starts. And remember, them using that power to control is not always coming from an intentional place. So the idea of this conversation about Paned and Regina, it's never really been about saying, he's a wicked man. If you notice, I've never really said that. Okay, it's not about that. Sometimes they just don't know what they don't know. Like a man coming from the 1960s, grew up in the 70s, 80s, and then there's social media and he's had power for the last 30 years. He does not know what power that comes with social media looks like, because everything around him still says it's absolute power, and he's still surprised that how dare you leave me and dump me. He's still like super surprised. That's why he's confused and he's releasing press release upon press release upon press release. But what happens is that every single monitoring spirit is diffusing and destroying. You can't manipulate them, because you're trying to control narrative in like 1,000 different directions. It's impossible. The closest thing to it is to learn when to shut up and just be silent and allow time. That's the closest thing to being able to control narrative. But who's going to tell Panet that now? In fact, there are many people that actually know that, but sometimes if you get caught with the hook in the wrong part of the jaw, you see what happened with Mr. Jollof at Mr. Jollof and VDM. If you get hook with the hook on the wrong part of the neck, you might just be confused. I think that's what happened to Panet. He never expected it. Ugal.
I never expected it.
He didn't see it coming.
He shocked you.
So we call it dynamics because with the evolution of life itself, the human experience is a moving thing, right? It's a moving thing. So for example, it might not be social media 50 years from now, it might be something else entirely, right? Wherever attention, human attention lies, right? Obviously it tends to gravitate in that direction. It's also an indication of value, right? So value flows. Value is always flowing all over the place. Same thing you might experience if you understand how currency works, right? So wherever value flows to, that tends to be where the power is. And why was it not on the internet? Because there was no internet. It was basically with whoever is powerful, whoever is going to feed you, whoever is going to give you a job, whoever is going to be the source of your livelihood, your survival, right? That becomes a source of power. Not the money itself, but probably more so power. Okay? So when it comes to a healthy marriage, right, it's simply shared power. Okay, shared power. And again, keep very, very tricky. Unhealthy marriages have power imbalances. But shared power, how? If I have a master's degree and you didn't even finish primary school, how do I do that? It's going to require a lot of emotional intelligence, because that's going to be quite dicey. You fell in love on day one, but you didn't factor in on everything on what that's going to become when you get into a point of conflict or crisis in the future. This is going to be tested when you enter conflict. Inevitably, when you enter conflict, all this, can you share power when you enter conflict? I mean, this is the time that you're going to pull the card that I understand this thing better than you, but I am older than you, but I'm 20 years older than you. Do you really say 20 years older than you? You don't say it in words, okay? Sometimes it's inverse. Sometimes it's just the girl feeling like, is it because you are 50 years older than me that you're talking to me like that? That is the same thing. It's just inverse. See, it's not about you being wicked, because you didn't even say it, but it's still taking effect in that relationship. That is why it is dangerous for a 67-year-old man to go and marry a 22-year-old woman. It is not just because you think you know what you're doing. The question is that, does the other person, can you pay attention to the other person, and do you have the capacity to continue to maintain the emotional centeredness required to maintain something that will always want to tilt in the direction of power imbalance? Can you create shared balance from that? Okay. What does this look like in real life? Right? Everything. When people start to say, hold on one second. When people start to say things like, the final decision is based on me. Why do you want to shoot yourself on the legs, brothers? Why? First of all, I'm not talking about if that's the reality or not, because oftentimes women actually want to be able to look up to you. You don't have to force that. But if you have to say that loud, first of all, something is already wrong in your situation. Second of all, you're not too sure of yourself. Third of all, you're lying to yourself, because clearly it's not working. There must be a leader in the household. This should be the default. It shouldn't be something you force. If you have to force it, it's not working, or you're with the wrong person. Because, like I told you, a typical woman generally wants a woman they can look up to, somebody they can yield to, not because they want to be inferior to you, not because they want you to be superior. It's because they actually get value from that. So it's not a superiority thing. It's they get value from that, and they will look to places where they can feel safe with them and their offsprings. But now you're barking at yourself, so they can't feel safe around you, but yet you're just trying to do the right thing. So why can't you just be in control? Are you saying it is not okay to be in control with your wife? Look at your mouth. Do you sound like a confident human being? It is no wonder they don't want you to be controlling them. I decide everything in my household. Are you sure? Because you don't sound very sure. You sound like you need to convince us, right? Another example, you can't leave. You can't leave. You must go to the rehab before I can give you access to your children. I know better than you. You're on drugs. Not just that, let me tell all of 50 million monitoring spirits that she's on drugs. Power imbalance. Okay? Without me, you're nothing. I will stop funding your lifestyle right now if you don't do what I tell you to do. You must obey me. This is what they sound like in real life. Okay? So in an African setting, you will see that this is a major issue because we tend to fall more in traditional way of life than in the westernized world. The same thing you might see when you compare people that live in Akure to Lekki. It's not just a Yankee thing. It's about, people are progressive in certain areas more than the other. And when you go to certain inner city parts, you see there's a lot of moving variables there, but you will see some of these trends across the board. People have access to information and they're progressive. That creates options. Sometimes options is illusion of options. And then you would need better signals when it comes to emotional intelligence to be able to handle people that have options. It's not just going to be as simple as you tell them what to do. I'll use money to buy you. You can see that that's working less and less in Nigeria, even in Nigeria. So you need to build resilience. You need to build some new type of emotional intelligence. It's the same one, but it shows up a little bit different, right? And active listening aspect of emotional intelligence needs to be strong. It needs to be strong. Okay. So in these modern times, of course, women are educated. Women earn their own money, right? At least more pronounced because they've always earned money. But back then, they would bring the money to the husband, potentially. Okay. Or you don't get bothered. It's the same file as one house, right? But they need the protection. They yield to the community sense. But the community is a global community right now. Is it true? It doesn't matter. If it's believable, it's believable. If it becomes perception, it becomes reality. That's what you should be paying attention to. Not arguing with yourself if something is truth or not. Perception is what it is. It's reality. That's something every leader should know. Okay, so women are earning more money. They understand emotional health. Yes, if they start to feel some type of way, they might just dump you, just like that. I'm sorry, it's tough. I know what me to tell you. 70%, 90%. If they're college educated, that should tell you something. Initiating divorce. They initiated the divorce. They did not end the marriage. Those are two different things. Women have global influence, of course, okay, and they're starting to speak up. They will speak up, okay. But in African culture, we still have probably at a heightened level, we still have what we call community pressure, right? The extended family. We're going to talk about extended family here in a second. With the Fayoshe family, extended family, society, religion. The elders, you must respect your elders. They have their own ideas, right? But they don't always understand how things translate into the modern times. And it's not about how old you are, it's about being able to listen. I know some of them that are much older than me, but they know how to, doesn't matter what age they're in. They're very rare. But no matter what age they're in, they listen, they pay attention to what's going on. They can see patterns and they know their stupid ideology is not going to work in this era. It takes a special type of grace to be able to read that. And it's no disrespect to the elders, it's just what it is. We're all stuck in our ways. We don't like change as human beings, in generally speaking. And so we kick against it. Okay, so we know that age gap is traditionally was okay, but I'm telling you right now, anything that will look like a father-child dynamics is going to work against romantic relationships. It's going to be exactly what attracted that young girl at one point, but exactly what they will resent when it gets to a certain point. And you can't afford to wait until you get to that point. You need to have the foresight to see that now. Okay, modern awareness shows that large age gaps will create father-child dynamics and not partnership. But marriage is not partnership. You're arguing English. Okay, anything that involves two human beings collaborating, two or more human beings collaborating for an objective is called partnership. It's just English. It's not that deep. Okay, because now you're starting to interpret with traditionality. Okay, and it doesn't mean there can be a leader in that partnership. They're not mutually exclusive. These are the issues. You start arguing with your own destiny with English. English that's not our first language. You'll be arguing, your vein will be popping out like this. Instead of you to pay attention to where people are coming from and what they are trying to say, not what they said or what they say. Where are they coming from? But of course, you don't have the patience. Well, you better develop the patience, because your marriage, your relationship will scatter if you don't learn how to. It doesn't matter if you're a woman, by the way. You're leading at least your own life. So you better start paying attention to some of this stuff. You can't afford waiting for a man to lead. I'm telling you right now, what I'm hearing from some of these men coming out of their mouth, they're not prepared to lead. It's sad, but it is what it is. Okay. But what I'm telling you is that if you move a certain way as a woman, you will probably attract a leader, a competent leader. Okay. Okay. Or they will work on themselves. They will know that you're that valuable. They will work on themselves to actually develop themselves. So women too must learn this stuff. In many African settings, the partner with more money is seen as the boss, right? What does that create? It creates a tool of control. It creates a tool of manipulation, a weapon, a leash. And again, like I told you, you need a little bit more wisdom than surface level, okay? This is not always an intentional thing. It's the dynamics that gets created. You need to pay attention to the dynamic that gets created when certain unions happen. So when you're self-aware, it's a little bit easier to mitigate the risk. It's not about perfection. It's just a little bit extra self-awareness is half of the battle won, right? The rest of it is small. Once you are aware that, hey, me too, as a human being, I have these flaws. It's not an intentional thing, but when you keep thinking it's intention, of course the other person is the enemy, because you never intended bad for anybody, right? You're the good person, a good guy, a good girl, the virgin girl. You didn't mean to harm anybody, but yes, you will hurt people, particularly the people that are closest to you. And that's the point. You're not always aware of that. Pay a little bit more attention. In a traditional setting, once you marry, you stay. You endure. You're not supposed to be enjoying marriage. Marriage is not about happiness. That's a stupid talk, please. It's not going to work in this time and age. Okay, you might call it the world is devolving or evolving. I mean, this life has scattered, whatever you want to call it. Feel free to call it. What I'm telling you is that's your idea, that people will stay inside of a marriage where they'll be enduring. It's not going to work. Men are not staying to endure marriage either. Okay, they might stay on paper, but they will start entertaining attention. If the options are there, they will start entertaining, and the society allows them to do that. And then you come back and say, oh, if you wanted to cheat, would I have cheated? Okay, clap for yourself. You made yourself feel good. Okay. So in modern reality, if you're unsafe and unhappy, you walk away. That's what I want you to pay attention to. People are walking. It doesn't matter if they do it on paper, they're not doing it on paper, and that creates a clash. And that's what I'm trying to get our attention to, right? This is the biggest source of conflict today. The audacity. How dare you? You got me into a situation and you think you can just walk away from me? Do you know who I am? I'm Ned. I'm Ned Nwoko, the senator. So now Ned is confused, releasing press statements every other day. So it's a lot that goes into this. I'm not going to get too deep. And what I'm telling you is that the objective here is shared power. And it's more so a feeling. It doesn't mean that somebody should go and by force get a master's degree tomorrow. No, it's about just self-awareness. The other person needs to feel like they are part of it, that they are part of this experience with you. If they start to feel anything outside of that, it's going to backfire. It's not going to work. It's not going to work in this time and age. I'm warning you right now. Okay. But what about just doing the right thing? You just focus on you as an individual. Focus. You don't need me to tell you that. You as an individual, just focus on doing the right thing, and you will attract who you are. No, some people are just wicked. Okay, if that works for you.
You're right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. There's one more story I want us to cover today, real quick. It's a crazy story out there with the fire chase. So I want to cover that. For today, we're just going to leave the Paned and the Regina alone. I hope they figure it out. But please, the lessons in this is not to take sides. It's to understand power dynamics and how it translates to your own regular relationship. It's in there, it's present. What have you been using to control your partner? It doesn't have to be money or partner type of power. It's something that you hold on to, but you know that your partner needs, but you have a way that you use to manipulate them from time to time. That's what I want you to pay attention to. And if you notice that it hasn't been working for you, you might want to pay attention to that. I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Let's talk about ex-governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, and his family. They've scattered the internet in the last 24 hours. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but me, when I see family dynamics and I see grown adults moving mad. See, before we're talking about 27-year-old woman. Come and look at this situation. We're talking about 50-year-old men and women. And 70-something, 80-something plus year old woman, and another 50-year-old woman, and a bunch of 40-year-old men, and they don't know what to do with themselves. They call them the Fayose of the Ekiti, the Fayose dynasty in Ekiti State of Nigeria. What are we talking about? Governor Fayose was the governor of Ekiti State some years back. He's still considered a chieftain in PDP. I think last time I checked. Considered a shifting, and unfortunately, he has a track record of being very his mannerism, his conduct in the political space is generally kind of like toutish, but I don't know, for lack of better word, but basically it's a radical. That's a better word. Radical. It's a political radical, when it comes to politics. And it's always been at odds with Pa Obasanjo, okay? But I'm going to play just a few days ago, okay? Just a few days ago. Let me see if I can find this real quick. I'm going to play this video for you, and then we'll take it on. This is a video of Pa Obasanjo at Ayo Fayose's 65th birthday celebration. Just about 2 days ago, there was a big, elaborate birthday party for ex-governor Ayo Fayose. And Pa Obasanjo was there, and he made a speech, and we're going to talk about that in a second. So listen, just listen in. I will translate.
Gíga mo ní owó ọkọ̀ wọ́n ló máa san. Mo fowó ránṣẹ́ sí mi through Folúṣọ́.
Okay, what he said is that they were at odds, and then suddenly he invited him. The old Baba, Pa Obasanjo, is one of the ex-presidents of Nigeria. He was the president of Nigeria between 1999 and 2007. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. And he's a big political godfather in Nigeria, as you can imagine. So he was invited, but then he said, I can't use my retirement money to be coming to your party. I just forgiven you for some of the things you said oddly about me in the past. So I can't. So what happened? He gave him money so he can come to the party. But there's more to this, okay?
But I should come back also. But maybe it's of interest to you. Aliko, if you may play to Beniwa, that you are back this morning. So whoever will warn you.
The Baba said, your money is with me. Okay. He said, your money is with me. But there's more to this story. I'm taking you somewhere. Just watch. Just keep watching.
Now, there is a culture. And as I said earlier, humility and integrity is an integral part of our culture.
He said, humility and integrity is an integral part of our culture. The message is passing to him because he's 65, right? Baba should be about almost 90 years old. He's trying to say that he's disrespectful, okay? But let's keep going.
I sent Oilola, settle you and Emi. You know I did that. Maybe you didn't know that I sent you. And the first thing you said is that we should come to you. Ayo, even Baba said, I feel that is ballet.
So this Baba came to his birthday party to come and school him on how to respect his elders, essentially. Okay. Now again, Pa Obasanjo has the same political personality. He's also a radical. So if he has something to say, it will come to your birthday party, apparently, and will come and tell it to your face that, hey, you're a very bad human being. And this is precisely what it says. See, you and your wife are not good people. I'm taking you somewhere. Just walk with me, because this spread out into family and marriage and family matters as we go here, okay?
That is our culture. That is our way of life. I was happy that eventually you did not insist on the coming out. And it was resolved. Even when you are abusing me, insulting me,
he said, even when you are abusing and insulting me,
I still take interest in your welfare.
I still take interest in your welfare.
So the point I'm making is that stop taking. You also have to, and you have said it here, I want to bash it.
Anyway, I don't want to prolong it. Eventually, the Baba said, you are a very bad human being, but I have forgiven you. Okay. Now, I want to play this video for you from Governor Ayo Fayoshe's younger brother. His name is Isaac Fayoshe. He had some interesting things to say to his brother on his birthday. So I'm going to play that and then we'll take it from there. We're talking about family dynamics and we're talking about dysfunction within family. Every family has dysfunction. I want you to write that down, take that to the bank. The question is that, do you know how to manage it? Do you know how to manage the dysfunction in your own family? Extended family, in your own immediate family, is just what it is. Now, some families, obviously, they move a certain way. Some other ones move a certain way. I'm not saying it's absolute, but every family has some kind of dysfunction. Maybe some manage it better than others. Let's play this video.
My brother.
All right.
Birthday message to my brother Ayodele Peter Fayose. Happy 65th birthday. May God bless your new age. I pray as you enter this new age, the spirit of selfishness in you will disappear and you can be a good man and turn a new leaf. You betray.
Wait, he said the spirit of selfishness will disappear. Jesus Christ.
Everybody that have been there for you. I remember.
Wait, let's start all over again. He said you've betrayed everybody. Let's go over again.
A birthday message to my brother Ayodele Peter Fayose. Happy 65th birthday. May God bless your new age. I pray as you enter this new age, the spirit of selfishness in you will disappear and you can be a good man and turn a new leaf. You betrayed everybody that have been there for you.
On his birthday.
I remember 23 years ago, 2002, my sister, Bimpe Shoriolu, late Bimpe Shoriolu, sold her land in Maryland, Lagos, for you to buy PDP ticket when you didn't have money anymore. 3 million naira. She sold her land to give you the 3 million to go and pay PDP to get the ticket. Everybody that helped you in life to be where you are today, you betrayed everybody. You had your birthday yesterday. None of your siblings from your mother's side, none of them were there, including your mother, because they didn't even invite your mother. They believe your mother is a pain in the ass. Ayodele Fayose, you forget so soon. Everybody, including the political party that helped you in life, that gave you tickets twice to be governor, you betrayed the party. All your PDP political family in Ekiti, you betrayed everybody. You betrayed your siblings. You betrayed your mother. You betrayed even our late sisters. Kai, my brother, life is not about being relevant all the time. Look at Adeleke family. Look at Oji Uzokalu family. Look at Abubakar Rimi family. Look at Yaradua family. They stood together. They grow together. They move together. But to you believe once you are okay, every other person can go. Even late Buruji Kashamu, that gave you close to 2 billion for your second term election, you betrayed the guy immediately you got to power. Even Ato Eze, that gave you about $3 million for your election, you have not been there to say thank you. My brother, selfishness is a sin. As you have turned 65, I hope and believe you will turn a new leaf and change from being selfish. I know people will look, why is he talking to his brother like this? If you have a brother that have done what he has done to us, you will be more sad and more bitter than us. We are not bitter. We are still praying for you. We wish you well. You are not our breadwinner. We are all doing well in our own, on our own level. But we want to tell you, turn a new leaf. Happy birthday.
Okay.
Birthday message.
Wow. Let me see. Sukome Omobolale said, real definition of if we talk, we go buy, and if we no talk, we go still buy. So you better make we kuku talk. Egbomi, general salutes, present arms for you. Someone said, this Egbo, he's so much love. I so much love your kind of person. This man has always been straightforward. I respect you even more. He's calling out his brother on the internet and you respect him even more. Okay. I'm not sure if that's what's needed, but okay. This man has always been straightforward. I respect you even more. May your day longer in good health. Okay. So these are the truth tellers. Just Adeton say, my auntie Binkwe miss us so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Now, you would think that's the end of it, right? I think it's appropriate that I pull this video up at this point. The sister, apparently she lives in London or something like that. She has something to say. And we'll come back to more from Isaac Fayoshe in a second. Listen to this.
Ayo Fayoshe, Feyishara. Ayo Fayoshe, Feyishara Fayoshe. Boy be. 1 year on your do boy be.
Okay, I'll do some translation. She's speaking Ado Ekiti or Ekiti dialect. She said Ayo Feishara is the wife of Ayo Fayoshe. Fayoshe is the ex-governor. That's the gentleman you're looking at in green. That's the one that just celebrated 65 years young, and he's being dragged by his own siblings within 2 days. Let's continue.
Oni odo boy be. Oni odo
She
gogo
said, come
boy
here.
be.
She said, come here.
Ayọ̀fáyọ̀ṣe àbúrò ẹ̀ ló sọ̀rọ̀ bọ́sẹ̀. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ ọlọ́run gígùn LSU. LSU sọnù.
She's dragging the wife.
Ìyàwó òṣì, ìyàwó olórí burúkú.
She said the wife who is very religious. No, so she's attacking the wife. Okay. She said, my brother, come here. And then she continued on to drag the wife. I don't know if you know where we're going with this one so far. Okay. Remember, we don't do right and wrong or left and right here or black or white. We're trying to pay attention to some nuances here that we tend to see in our society, right? We have two grown adults, siblings to the ex-governor, and they are dragging not just their brother, but it's almost starting to sound. I'll play another video from Isaac with you in a second. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just want you to pay attention to something here as a pattern, especially in our culture, okay? But somehow, they're not just dragging their brother, they are dragging their wife. Let's keep going.
Don't pa ìyàwó lẹ́kún. Mi ò bú ìyàwó ẹ̀ rí mi dẹ̀ bá ìyàwó ẹ̀ jà. Nǹkan kan ò pè mí àti ìyàwó ẹ̀ pọ̀ ni. Even though
she said, I've never abused your wife. What's the better word for abuse? I've never cursed out your wife, or I've never verbally abused your wife or ever before. But what? She said, even when we both lived in London, nothing has ever joined us together before. That sounds like resentment, doesn't? Okay.
Drug dealer, drug dealer.
I'll let her finish.
Oh, why
don't
you like your
the translation?
Oh, number one, no, yummy. Number one, no, yummy, nínú ilé ẹ. Ayọ̀. Ìyàwó ẹ jókòó síbẹ̀, ìyàwó ẹ ọlọ́run gígùn LSU olórí ibú. Ìyàwó tí ò lóye ẹ̀rìngì ẹ̀yìn obìnrin LSU òṣì. Tó jẹ́ pé ejò ni yín, ọ̀ká ni yín. Ayọ̀fáyọ̀ṣe. Ìyàwó ẹ olòṣì olórí burúkú. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé mo ti pè ẹ́ ò gbé kọ́ọ̀lù mi? Ó gbé kọ́ọ̀lù mi, mo sọ fún ẹ àwọn ọmọ ẹ. Pẹ̀lú ìyàwó ẹ wọ́n jókòó síbẹ̀, wọ́n náà fẹ́ wá lé ìyá mi. Ìyá ẹ, wọ́n náà fẹ́ wá lé bọ́ọ̀tà rẹ̀. Wọ́n retí wọn o. Wọ́n náà ti pé Ọọ̀ni Ifẹ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ Ọọ̀ni. Ẹ má bẹ Ayọ̀ àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ kọ́ má lọ lé ìyá ẹ̀ kó ònú lé o. Ọọ̀ni Ifẹ̀, ẹ mọ family dáadáa. Ẹ mọ family Fáyọ̀ṣe dáadáa.
Okay, so at this point, let me do a quick translation. But I can't help but see that she has her nose bridge pierced, bottom lip is pierced, and she has like two piercings going on somewhere around there. I can't help but notice that. Obviously, in 2025, only certain type of people will do that. I'll let you be the judge of that. But she said that their mother lives in a house, and Ayọ̀fáyọ̀ṣe's sons are threatening to go and chase their own grandmother out of the house. That one is a new one for me. I've seen family dysfunction though, but that one is a whole new level for me. Let's keep going.
Ẹ mọ family Olúwayọ̀ṣe, Fáyọ̀ṣe yẹ mọ̀ dáadáa. Ẹ má bẹ Ayọ̀délé Fáyọ̀ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ kọ́ má lọ lé ìyá ẹ̀ kó ònú lé o. Ẹ má lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ ọlọ́run gígùn. Ìyá mi ló mú ìyàwó ẹ̀ wá bá ní London.
She said my mother brought his wife to him in London.
Ìyàwó ọlọ́run gígùn tó pẹ́lẹ́ LSU. Ẹ̀yin SU. Well,
she's dragging overly religious people that don't wear earrings, they don't wear anything, no makeup. Fayoshe's wife fall in that category of people.
Only son. And you LSU rádaràda tẹ́ máa gbé Bible. Ẹ máa gbé Bible òṣìkà káàkiri. Ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ mọ Ọlọ́run, ẹ̀yin lẹ mọ Ọlọ́run, ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú dédé.
Wow.
Àwa tá mọ Ọlọ́run gan abẹ́tà yín. Ká ní wípé ìyàwó ẹ̀ aláyé bí báyìí.
She said those of us that don't know God, we are better than the rest of you.
Ká ló wọ́ sínú ilé tó jẹ́
wípé
ọkọ ẹ̀ ló máa rán àwọn àbúrò ẹ̀ lọ sí school. Ká ní ọkọ ẹ̀ ló máa rán àwọn àbúrò ẹ̀ lọ sí school ló máa fà wọ́n fọ́kọ. Kò máa ní jẹ́ kán ṣe é kẹ̀. Níyàwó lórí burúkú yìí, ìyàwó olóṣì tó mú wá láti Ìbàdàn. Ó wá pé ó jókòó síbi ọmọ ẹ̀ drug dealer last born ẹ̀ Bólúṣúkú. Ó ń pè ya tèmi ní bọ́ńbọ̀ wá nà mọ́nú ilé. So
apparently he has 4 big boys.
Ayọ̀ mo pè ẹ́
Say you call me to your party, I say I don't want to come. So she's the one that chose not to go to the party, right? Isaac kind of said it in a way that he didn't invite anybody to the party, but I'm sure someone like Ayo Fayoshe is speaking and choosing. It's not innocent, though. Trust me. Ayo Fayoshe is not the victim here. Just trust me on all of this.
Disrespect Yami. Oh, they disrespect Yato Jobi Wako, need him address and let's party. I will only more disrespect here. Joking about disrespect here, you know. See what Isaac Baja, who are Isaac, motivate or TTB or more, Yasija, second born, near last born, on me.
So she's saying him and she said Ayo Fayoshe and the younger brother that they had a conflict, and she kept trying to tell him like, but you're the older one. Talk to you're the older one, and you're the one that can find a middle ground between you and your younger brother. But this doesn't sound like she was just mediating. It sounds like this is also personal to, let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, do you think she was just mediating? Abi, there's some personal stuff here too. You guys will be the better judge.
Money wọ́n ló lè parí ìgbà tí wà tá Isaac tẹjọ́ ń wọlé tẹjọ́ ń wòde tẹjọ́ ń wọlé ta ló mọ̀ sí. Nígbà tẹjọ́ lọ wà dẹ̀ tẹjọ́ ń travel tẹjọ́ ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ jọ ta ló bá yín dá sí. Kò sẹ́ni tó pè sí. Nígbà tó bá sọ fún Isaac kó máa bú gọ́vnà ìlú kan kó máa bẹ́ẹ̀ bú lágbájá jọ ta ló pè sí nígbà yẹn kò sẹ́ni tó pè sí.
So she's alleging that Governor Fayoshe would ask Isaac to help drag another governor of another town. But now he's on the receiving end of the same behavior. So you didn't call anybody when both of you were. That's what she's saying, that he was a political thug for his older brother, and now they have issues. But again, is there something personal going on here, or she's just mediating?
So
if you are sending people to abuse people, that same snake will face you one day and eat you up.
Oh, money. Ayọ̀délé. Mo ti bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìyá wa. Mo ní jọ̀ọ́ ìyá yìí àgbàlagbà ní kí ló ṣe fún ẹ oní ẹ kì í bá Isaac sọ̀rọ̀ jọjọ fẹ́ kó lo Isaac ní Isaac is almost 60.
She said I told you on the issue of our mother, I've been begging you, appeasing you to please take it easy on our mother. And he said, well, she doesn't, like Ayo Fayoshe would say, she doesn't speak the truth to Isaac. She's like, do you want, like Isaac is that man that was just talking, that's a grown-ass man. Do you want her to beat up? Now, let me give you some inside stuff here. My father was just telling me today that their mother, I'll play the video, I'll show you their mother. And so their mother used to be my father's modern school teacher. And according to my father, his story, that she used to beat the crap out of students back then. Me, I'm not judging her, but I mean, she has 3 kids at the age of 60-something years old each, and they are dragging themselves on the internet. That makes me want to say how markets. Well, that's crazy because she used to beat the crap. According to my father, she used to beat the crap. And then I also found out that their father was the original principal of the school that I went to, St. John Mary Owo, when it used to be a teacher's college. So this is actually a big family that a lot of people know between Ondo State and Ekiti State. Let's keep going.
Jojo fẹ́ kó mẹ́gbà tí Isaac kó máa ná Isaac almost 60-year-old mi. Mo bẹ́ẹ̀ nu ló fi ń sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹnu ló fi ń sọ̀rọ̀, ẹnu ló fi máa bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ olórí burúkú olóṣì. Ìyá nígbà tó jẹ́ pé ìyá mi ló mú wá bẹ́ẹ̀ ní London náà lọ́hùn. Ó ti gbàgbé ní jẹ́ kí n ṣí ẹni.
So once a person takes their wife to go and meet them in London, they owe them their life essentially. But I mean, that's what she's suggesting. Because she's not telling us much. She's just telling, the only thing they've told us so far is that this is a dysfunctional family. But let's talk about family. What is family? Ayo Fayoshe at the age of 65, as you can imagine, has his own family he created with 4 grown boys already who probably have their own wives already, right? They're probably in their 40s, 30s, and 40s, right? So which family exactly are we talking about? There's a certain level of entitlement that comes with siblings from extended family. I'm going to point that out first. That's not the only lesson, okay? Once your sibling goes and marry another person, every sense of entitlement you have is on you. Yeah. You go to explain. Time to tell us stories from when they took them to London to go and meet somebody and all this kind of stuff.
Explain, because no evidence.
All right, let's have her keep talking.
Nígbà tí ìyá mi.
When my mother.
Túndé Adésanya máa wò mí jọ, sún síwájú. Ó jẹ́ lè testify sí náà pé ìyá ní ipa olórí burúkú ni àfi tó bá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀. Túndé Adésanya, àfi tó bá fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lókù. Nígbà tí ìyá mi mú Fèyí Ṣara ọlọ́run gígùn, SU sọnù, tó mú wá bẹ́ẹ̀ ní London, gbà tó ní kó bẹ́ẹ̀ mú ìyàwó wá. Ó sì gbàgbé pé ó ti ìyá mi mọ́ta nínú òtútù.
She said when my mother brought your wife to you in London, you locked my mother outside in the middle of the cold. Honestly, I didn't know I didn't know he lived in London, but apparently he lived in London before he came back to Nigeria to become the big politician that we know today. She said he locked the mother outside with this SU wife of today. Said, this is not the wife I told you to bring to me. This is not the wife that I want. Well, he apparently married that wife and they've lived together. So he listened to his mother at the time, all right? Eventually. Not at that moment, because he locked the mother outside. According to this woman, he locked the mother outside in the cold with that woman at that time.
Hey. Mi bẹ́ẹ̀ dá sọ̀rọ̀ ní láti jọ mo dákẹ́ mo jọ ń gbogbo family yín mo ń wú ẹ̀ ní ìsọ̀ kankan mo dákẹ́ mo ń rí ẹ̀rẹ́ gẹ̀rẹ́gẹ̀rẹ́gẹ̀rẹ́gẹ̀ mo ń ṣe dáadáa ẹ̀gbọ́n mi pẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi jọ wọ́n wá bí ẹ lé wọ́n bí orí ẹ mọ́ ìdí ẹ ọmọ ẹ ṣúkú ọmọ ẹ jọ.
So what pissed her off right now is that your son is now talking to my mother, his own grandmother, to get out of the house.
Ọmọ ẹnìgbà wọ́n wá pè ìyá tèmi bí bọ́bọ̀ wà lè bọ́ta nílé tí wọ́n bá lè bọ́ta nílé àsàrà ló máa sọ pa gbogbo yín tí ò bá lọ lè bọ́ta nínú ilé ó ti gbàgbé pé wọ́n ló sọ fún màmí pé kó lọ ta àwọn ilé tó ní wípé kí ló fẹ́ máa fi lé ṣe inú fúláàtì yẹn ìgbà tí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó ṣaláìsí ìwọ ló ní kó máa bọ̀ láti Ìbàdàn ló dẹ̀ fi mọ́nú fúláàtì tó fi sí ló fi mọ́nú fúláàtì yẹn bọ́ọ̀gì ní ṣe ń wọ́ lómi ń sun síbẹ̀ lójókòó síbẹ̀ wàá máa sọ.
My guess, let me read Uncle Beno. So Uncle Beno said, I don't know what happened, but as soon as I heard the wife says you, Fayose is guilty as charged. I hear you. Now, my own, right? This woman is entitled. This woman that's talking right now, and I have a feeling all the siblings are entitled. They probably feel like their brother never did enough for them. And I'll prove it to you. There's one more other thing I'll play for you. I'll prove it to you in a second here. You remember here that Governor Ayo Fayose is not a victim. I'm not suggesting that. Because sometimes I want to pick one side by force. Feel free to pick a side, but he's not a victim. That's my own take on this one. But these people here are entitled. AF. Let's keep going.
Which one of you,
my mother cannot beat
person now, can your parents pick you and beat you? Of course, it's not possible.
So his beef with his mother is that the mother is not speaking truth to Isaac, scolding Isaac and telling Isaac that basically he wants the mother to say Isaac is wrong, right? And that's the beef that Ayo Fayose has with his own mother, which allegedly he did not invite his own mother to his 65th birthday celebration that all dignitaries around Nigeria, ex-President Obasanjo was there. By the way, he did not invite his own mother, but ex-President Obasanjo dragged him at his own. I'm going to show you his reply to President Obasanjo in a second. The president, vice president of Nigeria was at that party. Your favorite, the minister of the federal capital of Nigeria, she would say federal capital of thieves. Wike was at that party. Everybody, like a bunch of big people were at that party. Big guys, politicians, the biggest people. I don't know where this party was. Was it in Ado or in Abuja? I'm not sure. But anyway, mother was not invited. Mother was not there. So obviously, 2 days later, everywhere scatter.
Your parents cannot, if you do something wrong, your parents can only talk. They can only talk. But if you are the elder,
so you're supposed to be the elder.
You want us to treat you like the head of the house. You are head of the house. ìwà rírùn ló ní àjọ ìwọ àti ìyàwó ẹ olórí burúkú ká ní wípé ìyàwó ẹ.
The wife has been collecting stray bullets right from the very beginning. We still don't know what she did wrong outside of the fact that she's SU. You can't beat Nigerians at this game. Nigeria they carry last. Let's keep going.
Èrè yìí ìyàwó ẹ lẹ́sùn sọnù ọlọ́run gígùn. Káti ẹ̀ ló wá lo kírìmù ṣe bí kò bá bẹ́tà.
Kó lo kírìmù.
Ká níyàwó ẹ̀ lo kírìmù tó kọ́ yẹ ìwà anú ẹ̀ ó ju ìwà àwọn tó ń lo yẹ́rìgì. Ṣẹ́rẹ́ yìí tẹ̀ ń bóra tẹ̀ ń lo yẹ́rìgì tẹ̀ ń dó fòtòfòtò tẹ̀ ń ṣe kíní káàkiri tẹ̀ ń ṣoògùn. Ìwà yín bẹ́tà ìyàwó Fáyọ̀ṣe ìwà yín bẹ́tà bàjẹ́. Ṣé kí bó ṣe dákẹ́ yẹn? Èṣù ilé wa lẹ́ ń wò yẹn. Èṣù ilé wa òun lẹ́ ń wò yẹn.
She said the devil of their family is the wife. Don't tell me this is the first time you're hearing something like this, okay? The devil of our family is the wife. It can't be nothing else. This is a consistent story in Nigeria. It's always the wife who is the devil of the family. I don't know what happened like Uncle Bendo. I'm just saying this tends to be the consistent story.
Ìyàwó Ayọ̀ Fáyọ̀ṣe èṣù lè wa ni. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé mi bá yín lọ́wọ́ sọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ láti jọ? Mi ò bá yín lọ́wọ́ sí.
If you are enjoying the show, hit the like button. Please hit the like button.
Gbogbo bí tẹ́ nílé sí London ni màá lọ bá yín gbé bánà lọ síbẹ̀. Pé ẹ gbà mí o, tí nǹkan bá ṣe ìyá mi. Màá dún ẹ láti wájú, màá dún ẹ látẹ̀yìn. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé mi ò ṣọmọ Nàìjíríà rere? Wọ́n dẹ̀ mèmí ní London pé má gbádùn lórúkọ mi. Màá dín fún ẹ jẹ nígboro London. I am okay. It's been a while. I miss you here too. Amy.
What is she, a content creator?
Mo sọ fún ẹ. Àwọn ìmọ̀ títí pè ẹ́. Mo ní ọmú ẹ pé àwọn ọmú ẹ àti ìyàwó ẹ wọ́n pe ìyá mi.
She said she just called him this morning.
Wípé wọ́n bọ̀ wá lè bọ́ta nínú ilé. Wípé tí ọmọ ọ̀dọ́ ẹ̀ àti gate man tó bá jáporó wípé wọ́n máa nà wọ́n mọ́. Kò ní dáa fún ẹ kò ní. Èèyàn ṣe bá dé 65 ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọkú. Joshua ti lọ forí ẹ bẹ́rí pé tó bá ti pé 65 ló máa kú. Ìyàwó olòṣì má ṣàǹfààní ká sọ wípé nínú ẹbí èmi rí sórí ibi tèmi ti fi ọkọ rí ibi tí èmi ti fi ọkọ àwọn mẹ́ta nínú àkọ́bí ilé wọn third born wọn àyà wọn mo mú wọn wọ̀lú òyìnbó yìí.
She said where she married her husband, so clearly she's no longer married, but where she married her husband, that she brought all like a bunch of like 3 siblings, she brought them to London. Where's she getting that with that? Let's see.
Mi ò gbà wọ́n fún mi ní omi rí nínú ilé yẹn. Omi wọ́n fún mi rí ní ìlú ilé yẹn.
She said they didn't give her water in that house.
Ọmọ ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ mo tún mú wá lù yìí ọmọ kan ṣoṣo tó bẹ̀yẹn mo mú wá lù yìí.
Okay, she did all of these things for all these people and the family she was married to, and did not give her a drop of water to drink in that house. Okay.
Mo ṣe sí ilé ọkọ. Ọkọ ò ṣe fẹ́ mi. Ibi tèmi ti lọ́kọ alábàámùsà ni wọ́n. Èmi ò lórí ọkọ olówó. Ṣùgbọ́n mo fẹ́ wọn bẹ́ẹ̀. Ilé ibi tèmi ti fọ́kọ mo ra mọ́tò fún bàbá ọkọ mi. Mo ṣí ṣọ́ọ̀bù fún.
She said she bought a car for her father-in-law and her. She opened a shop for what?
Ìyá ọkọ mi. Ìgbà kan lọ wá tayọ̀. Ó lọ wá tó mi. Ó lọ wá ta gbogbo tó lọ fẹ́ tà ni mo fi tẹ́ lọ́rùn. Even àti mo jí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, ó máa make sure pé gbogbo mọ́tò tó kó wá láti London, èyí tí ò tà mọ́nú kan ní sí airport, ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá ọkọ mi ló máa kó lọ kí bàbá yẹn lè wòwò náà. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ who she help? Ẹjọ́ ẹ bá ń bí léèrè.
So who did your wife help? That's what she was getting at. The wife of Ayo Fayose has not helped anybody in their family of Fayose.
She help.
Oh, wow.
Ká sọ wípé àwọn àbúrò ẹ̀ Ayọ̀délé, ká ní àwọn àbúrò ẹ̀ ìgò bẹ̀tà ni wọ́n tó wá retí ẹ̀ kó wọ́n wọn lọ sí school. Irú ìyàwó olóṣì olórí burúkú tó gbé dání kò lè jẹ́ kó help àwọn àbúrò ẹ̀.
Wow.
Èwo ló wọ́n lọ sí school ní gbogbo wa. Okay, o lè fẹ́ lọ wọ́n lọ St. Teresa 6 months. Kò ní dáa fún ẹ. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé bí 10 years lèmi àti ẹ ṣe jà tó lọ́wọ́ owó kan pè mí àti ẹ.
She said, did you know that we fought for 10 years? Because you said there was some money between us. They didn't talk for 10 years. Siblings that didn't talk for 10 years, they do them day. That one, I've seen that one. But dragging themselves on the internet like this, you might see one person to another, but all 3 of them at the same time. I think there's one more somewhere. I'll play that video for you in a second.
Bọ́sì bí wá gbọ́rọ̀ orí ẹlẹ́ni ayé ò ní dáa. Mo ṣì pè ẹ́ ní last week. Gbogbo voice note wa ló wà lórí fóònù mi. Mo ní ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ìwọ ló lè parí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú family. Gbogbo ìgbà ni mo máa ń sọ fún ẹ. Máa ní Bọ̀dáyọ̀, Gov, ẹ̀yin lè parí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Máa lẹ́yìn lè parí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Mo ní màámi, tí ìwọ àti màámi bá jà, torí ìwọ àti màámi torí ìwà tí Isaac ń jà ò ní fún màmí lówó oúnjẹ torí ìwà tí Isaac màmí.
He said, when you and Isaac you are fighting, you won't give my mother money for food.
But màmí pé 70 when she turned 70, did you come to her birthday? You did not come because you are fighting Isaac because of 6 million naira.
So he did not come to the mother's 70th birthday because he was fighting Isaac at the time because of 6 million naira. Okay, aura for aura.
Lórí burúkú ni ẹ́, o fẹ́ gbọ́rọ̀ ni. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé mi bẹ̀rẹ̀ dáńsì láti jọ ẹ̀? Tí àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ Ayọ̀fà yóò ṣe.
Well, she's saying you're an unfortunate person.
Tí wọ́n bá lọ lé màá mi bọ́ta nù lẹ́yìn, ayé ò ní dáa. Ṣọ́rí kú tó pè sí rẹ̀ yẹn nígbà tó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ de 65 yìí, ikú náà ló máa pàpà pa ẹ́. Tí ò bá lọ, tí àwọn ọmọ yẹn ò bá lọ lé bàbí síta, lẹ́ni. Ayé ò ní dáa.
What is this that she's inside the trailer?
Àti wo àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ̀.
I can see the ceiling right there. Anyway, this is a summary according to shout out to Lagos lately. Say, Ayofayoshe, I have no business with your wretched wife. Your son, who is a drug dealer, said he would go to our mother's house and beat her. Your long-necked wife heard all this and kept mute. That useless pretender who doesn't use earrings and is worse than a snake. The Oni of Ife has been notified of this. Oni, please let them do their worst. It was our mother that took this woman he called his wife to him in London that year. If Ayo was the breadwinner of the family, his wife would not have allowed him to do anything for his siblings. It's good you also have 4 boys. That is how their wives would do to you too. Ayo, you invited me for your birthday, but I refused to show up because you disrespected our mom. You said our mom didn't talk to Isaac to stop insulting you. Is Isaac a baby? When things were smooth between the two of you, who did you call? Ayofayoshe's sister, Bosse, drags him. Let me read this one comment. Somebody said, as a younger family raising children and also who are yet to born, learn and make sure you raise your children with love. Teach them and force them how to love one another. Teach and force the oldest one how to settle disputes amongst siblings and everyone. This is a serious lesson. So disheartening to watch as a young man of 30 hoping to have mine at the right time. God will guide me. Anyway, these issues are everywhere. This is Governor of Ayofayoshe on the right-hand side, and on the left and right next to my face is Isaac Fayoshe, his younger brother. Okay, so I want to hear your take on this, but we'll wait to let's finish. Let me read what Ayo Fayoshe said to Baba Obasanjo a day after his party. One day after his party, you can see the picture of Baba Obasanjo hanging out. You can see all the dignitaries, the vice president of Nigeria, Wike, Baba Obasanjo, you can see all these people there, right? All right, so now, after Baba Obasanjo insulted him at his own party, a day after, somewhere around a day after, Ayo Fayoshe, the one that's been dragged by his siblings, had this to say to ex-president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo. He said, this was supposed to be a thank you note, by the way. Let me see. Where is it? Dear Baba Obasanjo, I trust this meets you well. You're coming to my birthday party. I appreciate, except for your very irresponsible comments at your age. You went so low, but I'm not surprised because someone once said you are supposed to be kept away in the zoo. Sincerely, that's where you belong. Ouch. I kept quiet and did not reply you at the function so that the world will know the difference between a sane and a madman that you are. It is also obvious that you have also lost your sanity, or should I say is the heightened stage of dementia. Not to worry, Baba. I shall set the record straight in due course of time. Lastly, I shall appreciate if you return my money, since you publicly admitted you received but Dangote brought you back. Your leopard will never change his skin. The letter reads. Now, the former president replied tacitly. Of course, Baba Obasanjo they carry last. He said, Ayo, thanks for your thank you message, which undisguisedly revealed who and what you are, unchanged and unchangeable. Your money has been sent back through Folusho Adiagbo, who brought it and in the same bag as he brought it, unopened by me. Wow. 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 Oh, these people. Let me see. Oh, no, I can't play that. I can't play that. It's bass bulls everywhere. Bass bulls. One man, all of his siblings, Power Basanjo, the whole world. I bet he's going to claim he's the victim. No, don't get it twisted. Ayo Fayose is never a victim. Okay, if you come for him, you are. What does VDM say? If you come, and if he comes for you, yeah. I forgot the full saying. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Now, with that being said, Isaac Fayose has more to say, and then I'll give my very brief take on that. And let me see. Yeah, this one right here. Okay, let's do this, guys. Let's do this.
Bible says, honor your father and your mother so your days can be long. So your days can be long. When you refuse to honor your father and your mother, you are bringing a generational curse to yourself. Generational. People can be supporting you. Data boys can be talking. Is that how they treat their mother? A wife that called herself born again, she doesn't use earring. She said, I'm a born again Christian. I'm a born again
These
Christian.
people not using earring.
She has refused to call the mother-in-law for years. Even mother-in-law didn't show up at the party. She could not call. Mama, what is happening to you? Why didn't you come? But she had time to call former president. Please, grace our occasion. If the mother is a witch, will you be able to marry him? If the mother is a witch, will he be able to be former governor? And you call yourself born again. You are born wuru-wuru.
Jesus Christ.
Wuru-wuru. You are not born again. Bible didn't tell us that. Bible say, honor your father and your mother. And you are boys. All your children are boys. They are watching. Nemesis will catch up on you. You have time to call others. But your mother-in-law, she's not a witch. She prayed for the guy to be governor twice. She stood by him. Suddenly, you want to have everything to yourself. Is she begging for food? No. But you chose to be like this. The Bible curse is waiting for you. You know yourself. Ekushe. Bible says, honor your father and your mother.
That's what he had to say to the wife. So he's also attacking the wife. Let me play this video for you.
I watch video of my half brother. We just come, they send that money from Canada, making come represent sibling. My half brother. My brother. Now Uber carry you come the party. Now Uber they carry you go back. If your brother is good for 8 years as governor, you know buy you come on Corolla. But I just you can't do video. My brother is the best in the world. Where were you when we were campaigning 2002? When we were donating? Where were you, sir? You were in Canada. So they send you money to come and counter us. And you don't come. You they praise them. But remember, as you they praise my brother, now Uber carry you come the party. Now Uber they carry you go back. Why he no buy motor for you if he's the best brother in the world? In your dudu, oniwa dudu, black people with black mind. I watch video of my.
Okay, so that's another one. He's attacking his half brother. So apparently, There's a half brother somewhere. Their father probably had multiple wives. You can see him celebrating his mother. This is the mother that he posted. Just this woman looks like she's probably in her 80s. But there's another video of they have another brother apparently. I mean, they all look alike, Sha. If that's a brother, they all look alike. All right, so this caption from Isaac Fire, she says, "Sweet Mother Thanksgiving, my best brother, being Doc." Is that like Dr. Bimbo or something? Whatever you do in life, make sure you have more than one children, in case one abandons you in your old age. All right. Someone said Bobimbo has always been a sweet person. He looks like he's a sweet one. Everybody else just scatter everywhere. Okubedo, I'll drop that link for you if you want to come in real quick. But Ogal, where should I go here? I feel like because of the point you're making, Okubeno, I should leave this show in a very, very sweet place. Something that can get all of us thinking, get all of us thinking. Very, very important. I mean, look at it. They look like her too. All right. So the mother is doing the Thanksgiving here, and that's one of their brothers. So being Doc, he must be like a doctor or something. I don't know, but whatever. But I know personally, I know too many families like this. So I'm trying to pick my words very wisely. Let me see what Natu is saying. Let's leave that at that. We're talking about, I'm going to leave this show here. If we're interested in talking more about it, we will continue to talk about it, But let me just read what Natu said. Natu, this sounds like my husband, 3 siblings that think he is American and he should put them on payroll. They want to do anything tangible. Before they want to do that, before I used to give them money, but since they sat in a meeting and called me names in front of me, not to. Anytime they come for anything, I send them to their brother and they don't like. But I know one day they will tag me like Fayoshe's wife. This is a Nigerian culture. And the funny thing, they don't have to be SUs before they are labeled that way. If they're SUs, of course, they tend to, not all of them, they tend to segregate themselves from the general public or general ways of life, and they have a way of life, and even more so, they will tag them that way. Even more so, they will tag them that way. But let me talk to Uncle Beno. Uncle Beno, talk to me, brother. Let me bring you to the screen. Yes, Uncle Beno, how far, sir?
Hey, MOP, how far, Baba?
How you doing?
I did try to survive. I'm actually at work, and you shared the link at the right time, just when I'm taking my break.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I'm not trying to preempt your show, okay? But
You're good.
I'm just trying to be funny when I said so far the Fayoshe wife
Mm-hmm.
is an SU. Fayoshe is guilty.
Explain what you mean by that.
Okay, I'm gonna make some statement now. I will
Mm-hmm.
try as much as possible not to generalize,
Okay.
but I will say many of the women who happens to be SU,
Mm-hmm.
many of them usually turn out to be terrible wives to their in-laws. It may not be to their
Mm.
husband, but they used to be terrible wives to the in-laws. So in case anybody will walk or do me bad boss, maybe we know where we go argue from.
But you
Don't
said
get me.
tend to. I think that's safe. I think it's safe to say tend to.
Yeah, they tend to be terrible wives to in-laws. The reason is that, first of all, I'm sorry, I will still generalize a little bit. Religion has
This is
done.
the SU wife, by the way, if you're wondering. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
think I saw her when Baba Obasanjo was at the event or something.
Right.
Anyway, I am not a member of their family, but I think I've listened to Isaac Fayoshe here and there. And at the same time, I've also monitored Fayoshe's activity on the political terrain for some time. And if I have to give my candid opinion, Fayoshe may be a very nice individual to those in his circle. He may
Mm-hmm.
be a fantastic father to his children. But when it comes to generally, Fayoshe has some kind of not very impressive character.
Mm.
When he talks, he lacks social awareness. He's insultive. He demonstrates the character of somebody who is full of himself.
Mm.
That is just to me, based on me assessing him from his political life. He seems like somebody who is vindictive, who is equally entitled, based on what I know about him from political point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when his brother started dragging him, his brother have said so many things about their family growing up and everything. And I gathered from Isaac Fayoshe that they are actually well-to-do in their family, not that they are suffering.
Right.
They all owe, they get money for hand, okay? They are good. But after Obasanjo went to that birthday, and even Obasanjo can't hold himself, that Baba has to behave like a typical Yoruba papa where they village, where no send anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I've also, I've at least I've followed Obasanjo to some extent. Obasanjo has a lot of enemies, but at the same time, he has, at least, he has kind of amend his ways, forgive those he can forgive, and also apologize to those he can apologize to, and life goes on. If there is somebody who is way antagonizing, who has antagonized Obasanjo for a very long time, is the current president, Tinubu. And
Mm.
if in all indication, why Tinubu was running for president, if Obasanjo can restrain himself from lambasting Tinubu, if he can also at least give Tinubu some decorum and respect when they are in public space, I
Right.
think Baba can also.
I can't hear you anymore. Or is it me? I can't hear you anymore. Maybe you got a call. He must have gotten a call. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, let me know. I think I'm audible. I can see my meter. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad to watch this. I've seen this a couple of times in my lifetime. Particularly witchcraft accusations, yes, within family. In-law issues, entitled siblings, wife completely losing themselves in the middle of in-law dynamics. You know, even such let me bring Uncle Beno back.
Hello,
Welcome.
MOP.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I received a call. Even though I'm on Don't Disturb, one call still came. So what I'm saying is that if Baba Obasanjo cannot at least spare by Fayoshe on his birthday, if you can still go ahead and still lambast him on his own birthday, that also tell a lot about Fayoshe's character. And then the Fayoshe's reply, the open letter to Obasanjo, also tells so much about his character too.
Even
And
the
that
reply.
brings, yes, so even the reply is as terrible as ever. So that tells a lot about his character. And in all of this, I just wanted to tie it to his wife. And I'm speaking from my usual traditional point of view now. We can look at westernization, exposure. Oh, relationship has evolved. We cannot do things the same way, the old school way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Fact remains that if you are a Nigerian, you are still a Nigerian no matter where you found yourself. If you are a Nigerian and you marry to a Nigerian man, there are some expectations that your exposure cannot wash away. There are some expectations from the family that your education, your I sabi everything. Oh, you can categorize it. This one is misogynistic. That one is chauvinistic. That one is this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It won't wash it away. They are patriarch. You know, I told you. I say it all the time on my show. I usually just turn a kind of deaf ear. Once somebody is talking and you start saying, when they did it, they are misogynistic. I just like, okay. I don't hear. I rest. There are some things in our culture you can't pray it away. Even if you are SU, if you are Babagio, Mamagio. So I'm saying all of this to let you know that wife, the reason they are attacking that wife is because that woman has not moved as a matured woman who understood the African family dynamics, especially the Yoruba marriage dynamic. Now, Fayoshe's sister comes down, everybody comes down. Fayoshe is having his birthday. None of his siblings are there. No matter how we want to paint it, we
I
can
mean, she
call
said
this.
she didn't want to come though. What about that part?
But forget how your brother go to celebrate 65 years old that you don't want to be there. You didn't want to call it. It's because the guy and his wife they don't mend their ways. That's just what happened. I get it. Maybe the family, if you say they are entitled, yes, almost all African family entitlement they one way or the other. And we know it's part of us. It's just that we have to manage the level of entitlement. But whether you like it or not, entitlement will always be there. Your younger brother will still believe that if you are blessed, you are rich, you are supposed to be responsible for them. Your brothers, your sister, your siblings, everybody will still believe that if God bless you, you are supposed to do certain things for their papa and their mama.
So Uncle Beno,
It's part
question.
of us.
Don't you think that is single-handedly enough to cause all this kind of drama? That entitlement alone, you don't think single-handedly can cause all this drama?
It depends on how we want to look at it. If we say single-handedly, I don't think it's single-handedly because in their own case, they are doing well. You feel me now? They are
What do you mean doing
doing
well?
well. They are doing well financially. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Fayoshe and his wife, Governor Fayoshe and his wife. They're doing well financially.
Their family, Fayoshe and his siblings, they are doing fine.
Oh yeah, all of them. Okay.
Isaac Fayose is riding G-Wagon.
Yeah, but that's financially. I'm talking about we know this guy. Let me in fact, I was gonna show you that he was let me see if I can show you that. They're doing well, but that's often not enough. That's just money, right? At some point,
Yeah.
we all need more than just money. Although he claimed that he was, I think he claimed that he was crying for the nation. I think at one point because he's fighting for the nation. He's a truth teller. He speaks truth to the power. He was even dragging Tinubu earlier on today. Let me see. I think he has. Okay, the video is right here. Let me play this video for you. See?
You mean
That you are
Isaac?
Yeah, this is Isaac. See?
arrogant. You, that you are rich and very arrogant.
He said, "You that you are rich and very arrogant." So he gets the point I'm trying to make too. That money is not everything, right? If you have
Agreed.
dysfunctional relationships, what is it worth? It's worth nothing. Your childhood memory, some of your best memories from childhood, you can't even. All of us dream about one day we will do small reunion and everybody will be happily ever after. But now we have all this money and status, and we can't make that happen because of pride. So I'm just going back to your point too, that they have everything. So I'm going to ask the question again. The entitlement that comes from some of these people, extended family, right? There's nothing wrong with doing for your own people, but the entitlement, you don't think that single-handedly can destroy families?
The entitlement.
Yes.
Entitlement cannot single-handedly destroy family. It depends on what type of entitlement we're talking about. Look, like I said now, MOP,
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Even right here in America, many of our people, they have their parents living with them. Their parents that they brought from Nigeria, they are living with them and they are providing for them. There are men who have wives that the men brought their own dad, mom, and their parents are living in the same house with their wives. And they are living in peace. Somehow they manage to accommodate each other. So a lot of people are doing it. Now, why are those people doing it? Why do they decide that, okay, let my parent live with us, even though there are times that the wife or the parent, they were going to create some kind of inconvenience for the wife, but still, they still feel like, I want my parent to live with us. Is because we know that there are certain things we are responsible for based on our culture and tradition and our beliefs, our norms, and all of that. Now, and I'll give you a typical example. If my mom is still alive today, I promise you, MOP, my mom will be in this US with us. Because even though I'm the youngest of her male child, I still believe that the fact that I can afford to accommodate my mom, to give her better life, to take care of her, health-wise, everything, I will still want to provide for her. Now, that does not take away the fact that maybe I might bring my mom, and my mom may be giving my wife headache. It might even get to a point that I can't take it no more, and I'll say, you know what, Mama, it be like I say you have to go back. But the point I'm making is that it is ingrained in us. It is part of us that when God bless you, there are certain expectations that you are supposed to meet. That's what I'm saying. Now, if those expectations you were supposed to meet, if you are not doing it, and you have what it takes to do it, your siblings may begin to frown at your wife's involvement. The only thing that can save your wife now is if your wife played her role and it is obvious to the siblings that ìyàwó bọ̀dá mi ó ń try gan na my bọ̀dá na him no wan do wetin he suppose do, that automatically exonerates the wife. That's the point I'm making. But there are some women that even when they see that their husband is moving mad, maybe because of what the husband's siblings have done to the husband. They notice that this husband, they've really done my husband wrong, and my husband is within his right to do this or that to his siblings. But some women, they will still step in. They will still tell their husband that, hey, babe, these people, they have really, really show you shaggy. But let's not move this way. Let's find another solution for the sake of tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? Now, there are some women that as soon as they see that these siblings, they are really terrible, they've done my husband bad, those women will simply say, you know what, or family is your family matter. I don't want to put them out. Just do whatever you like. Baba, it will come back to hurt that woman. The siblings will still find a way to, in fact, they can literally forget about the fact that their brother is a terrible human being, and they will just place the whole blame on the wife's head.
Are you suggesting that's what's happening here? That these siblings are evil?
I'm not saying they are evil, they have their story, but I'm just saying that from experience and from what I've observed with people who call themselves SU. Whoa. That woman, that wife hand, he get her CB. Obasanjo just said to the woman right there on public podium, say, Iwa atoko Iwa yoda. How about that? Is Obasanjo their sibling? I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
But that's speaking of Obasanjo, that's Obasanjo talking though.
Oh.
How much weight exactly would you like me to put on Obasanjo's words? Look at Obasanjo in this picture. Does it not look like he's getting ready to run away from this guy? How much weight exactly do you want to put on Baba's words in this respect? Let me say this, Uncle Beno. You asked me, you say you wanted to know my take on this. There's multiple layers to this issue we're looking at. I will have to address it one relationship at a time. You understand what I'm saying? The one person in the center of all of this, if I want to keep it simple, I will focus on the one person in the center of all of this. And that's Governor Ayoshe. Because he's supposed to be the governor of the whole state, ex-governor, meaning other governors are now looking up to him. He's supposed to be the Olori Ebi of his own family. That's the word I was trying to remember the other day. Olori Ebi of his own family. Okay, so he's clearly failed at that. When I say fail, it doesn't mean it's his fault. Everybody should remember that. Okay, the point is that leadership carries a lot of responsibility, and oftentimes you will be tested. You're not going to be tested by people that are easy to lead. It's like when men say that women this that like no, but leading a woman in the form of marriage, it's not easy. That's what separates the competent men from the incompetent men. That's the one thing. It is not this fantasy that it should be easy to lead women. Followers should have their own skills too. It's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Right? You're going to be tested as a leader because it is difficult to lead people. So Olori Ebi, as a governor of a state, right? As a governor of a state dealing with a person of the caliber of General Obasanjo, who is now think of him as ancestor, our grandfather. He's supposed to be taking care of him now. He's clearly done a terrible job in his relationship with Olusegun Obasanjo too. Olusegun Obasanjo has, right? It's like imagine like the example you were just giving, right? My mother come and live with me, right? And there's an altercation between my mother and my wife. That's my responsibility. I didn't say they should start fighting, so it's obviously not my fault. But that issue is my responsibility. So now that Antito Lumu repete ni London yen, the sister.
Yeah.
You have a sister like that, you're going to be you need skills to lead such a sister. Because clearly, the day that kind of person blow up, they're going to scatter and cast you. Now she's telling stories of how you married somebody from 20 years ago. That doesn't really carry any weight, obviously, because she's been married to this woman for years, decades now. They have grown children. I was just looking at wedding pictures of one of the children. So it's too late to be telling such stories.
You think so?
A tainu, three stomach, like Baba Sue said. A tainu, jealousy,
Wait to MOP.
envy ló ń pa àwọn
MOP.
people yìí.
Can you hear me, MOP?
I can hear you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you were saying how the woman got married to Fayose, it doesn't count in what they got going on now.
How
Is
people,
that your take?
I did a whole video on that. How people got married is relevant, especially decades later. You're responsible for that relationship. You're in a relationship with this person, and you're talking about how the relationship started. It's irrelevant. We can use it to, maybe we can use it. This is this person's behavior, but till now, the only thing this woman has done wrong is being an issue.
I don't think so. Even though they are not giving us the full details.
For what we know now, maybe we don't know them. For what we know, is that correct or not? Factually speaking, from what we know, the only thing she's done wrong is being an issue. We already acknowledge that if they have a different lifestyle from everybody else, like that Antito Lumu Repatan, right? Obviously, she's not going to feel free around her SU in her house. You know, they have two different type of lifestyles.
I agree with that.
That's fair.
I agree
That's
with
fair. And I think Fayose is a pastor too himself. So they have different lifestyle. In addition to his coconut head as a radical toutish politician, you know, you're mixing oil and water here.
I don't think mixing oil and water, MOP. One of the things that I do, I have this saying that I kind of believe in strongly. If somebody looks weird, look at that person deeply, you will find something weird in their character.
If they look weird. And now,
if somebody's appearance,
yes, they're called eccentric.
If their appearance look weird, just check their character deeply. There is something weird about them. That appearing weird is coming from a place of difference. It's coming from a place of distinct belief, some basic principles, some way of life that is unconventional.
Like wayward.
I'm not saying it doesn't mean they are a bad person, no. But it just means that
there's something
their
there.
appearance sometimes tells you something somewhere.
Yes.
There is something non-conforming about this person. So and that applies to the SU situation as well as until we carry earrings full everywhere. So I agree with you on that one. Both of them, their character, they may not match, but
they don't. But that's probably very little compared to the other factors, because after all, that's his sister, right? At the end of the day, that's his sister. And it looks like he probably brought her to London too. She didn't mention that part, but he probably brought her to London too.
Okay, now
that story that she was telling on how they came to London, she was not in London at the time. She's telling the mother's story. The mother is not innocent. She's a culprit. Okay. Remember, mother is mother. Don't get me wrong. In fact, let me read Yetasi's comments here. Yetasi says, I got you. We cannot abandon our parents. Women have to consider their in-laws as their own parents, and in-laws have to have boundaries, not to interfere too much in their son's married life. Where do you think that lady is getting? Where did she get the story that I got locked out in the code? That she got locked out in the code with the now wife. In other words, Ayo, she did not want this woman initially. That's what she was saying. But he eventually married this woman, and it's been decades. What do you want me to do with that story, Uncle Beno? Tell me. You think that stories tell us something? Tell me. I'm listening, sir. Somebody has called him again. Just in that moment. Voila. Just in that moment. Anyway. So, yes, our parents, women have to consider their in-laws as their own parents, and in-laws have to... See, the issue is that a lot of people approach marriage with this in mind, but when life starts to present itself as per normal, it's very hard to manage those relationships. Uncle Beno, welcome back, sir.
Yeah, no verse now. This
Oh,
scammers call again. Oh.
I know. So I'm asking you the question again. What do you want us to extract out of that? That Ayo
That
Fayose locked his own mother out with a wife to be, and he said he didn't want this woman.
Okay. First off, if I have to work with that information, it tells us that this wife and the mama, they have history. And history is key. Now, we know that in most cases, when mothers are the one who found wife for their sons, most time it doesn't work out. Their character may clash. Only few occasions that the wife and the husband, they will gel from the get-go. Mostly, it may take years before they finally accept each other. Now, if we flip it around, let's assume a mother find a very good girl and she say, "Oh, Omoy, she has good character. I think
Right.
this girl will make a good wife for my son."
Uh-huh.
And ordinarily, the son wouldn't have even looked at the side of that lady if he was searching for wives all by himself. But the mama brought the girl now. The girl got married to the son. They gel. Life turns out good. The husband become very successful. The wife is doing great. The wife is a nice woman. Would you say whatever the wife is doing to the mother in terms of good deeds, because there are some amazing women out there that they took care of their mother-in-law as if she's their mom. Many women like that. Now, why do you think that woman, even 20 years later, 30 years later, she's still cherishing that mama, she's still taking care of that mama? Are you going to tell me that the care she's providing for that mama, it has nothing to do with the fact that the mama was the one that brought her to marry her husband? Will you say it has nothing to do with it?
I mean, I don't know, because the story is not all the way correlating. The person you brought
It's,
to be with your son is now at odds with you. I want to know what that means.
what it means, the relevance of that information that sister is hampering on is that "Ó gbàgbé olóore ẹ." I don't know how to express that in English.
I got it. I got it. So the mother-in-law did her a favor by
Yes.
making her the wife of her own
Yes.
son, but now she's forgotten about that.
She's forgotten about that. That is the relevance of that story.
I got it. I got it.
And it's coming from a place of whatever that has happened within their family dynamics over the years. Now, I agree with your take that using that as justification to now go after the wife is irrelevant. I agree with that, because there are situations whereby a mama can bring you to marry his son, and the mama can actually turn out to become a Mack truck, an enemy against you in the marriage. So there are many situations like that.
Yeah, because
But
there's a lot of mother-in-laws that hold that around your neck, and they will use that to manipulate you for years.
Exactly.
Like, without me, you are a nobody. And you can disappear overnight. And now it gets worse when the son says, "No, but this is my wife. Why are you talking to my wife like that?"
Yeah, exactly. So if I am the one to look at their situation, I won't throw that information away. That is one. Two, another thing they said, which I want to believe up to 80%, is the sister kept hammering that Fayoshe's youngest son said they were gonna come to a house and they will throw their grandmom out of the house. Fayoshe said nothing about it. The wife said nothing about it. Now, in Yoruba, I don't know, those who are westernized, it might not make sense to them, but for me personally, in Yoruba, in my own Ondo, where I'm coming from, that's a big deal. If it's my own mom, my brother's last son, whatever they got going on, his last son now said he's coming to throw my mother out of the house.
So let's take a deep breath here, Uncle Beno. I promise. I want you to keep going. I want you to keep going. That point where you are right now, if that was you, what would you do?
Now, if that was me, my reaction would be based on the step taken by the father as well as the mother of that child. Am I making sense?
So you will speak to the father and the mother, and then you
Now,
will.
that's what I'm saying. My
Yes.
reaction is
Okay.
going to depend on after your son make
Thank
these
you.
bold threats.
Thank you.
After
But
your son.
guess what they did? But guess what the two siblings did? Remember, I'm not against them. I'm only against their reaction. But oftentimes in this time and era, they'll tell you you can't tell people how to react. You're right. But I can speak what I want to speak here, right? This is what they did. Okay. Instead of hearing out the father and the mother first, they go straight to the internet. She claims she had called Ayofayoshe this morning, but that doesn't look like somebody who had only called. That sound like somebody who has other resentments, not just
Of course,
not a person who did not get answer from one call. Okay, but what she did is she jumped on the internet and dragged family along with the wife for no obvious just cause reason, because we don't know exactly outside of her being an SU.
No. MOP, if you say for no obvious
We
just
don't know
cause
outside of her
reason,
being an SU. She didn't
no.
tell us anything. She didn't tell us anything. What did she tell us?
Me, I just tell you what I heard now. I heard that their own son, last son, say he go throw their mama out of the
No,
house.
I'm saying, why is she dragging the mother? She has not spoken to the mother of this son, their wife, a sister-in-law.
MOP,
She has not spoken to her. You said you will speak to her and go notify her before you act, right? So how come these people have not spoken?
No.
Uh-huh.
I did not say
missed
I
it.
will speak to Fayoshe.
Oh, okay.
I did not say I will speak to Fayoshe or the wife. I say if this happen, let's say Fayoshe is my eldest brother, and Fayoshe's son now say he's going to throw my own mother. Remember, he's still Fayoshe's mother too.
Yes.
The son said, I will go to that
Your
house
mama?
and you will throw my own mother out of that house. I said my reaction will be based on whatever step taken by Fayoshe or the boy's mom.
Right.
I'm not going to call them. But what I will do in my own thing is that I will give them grace. Let's say 1 week.
Okay.
Let me see. Because definitely, you know how our mothers work now.
Uncle Beno, I'm not clear on what your first step will be. When you hear that, your mama is the one who told you that my grandson just called me, right? And said they are coming to throw me out of this house. And they said if the gate man and the house girl tafele, they will beat them too. So your own mother, you are now Isaac Fayoshe, right? And your mother called you about this. What will be your first step? I want to be clear about that.
I just told you, my first step is to give them grace. Highest 1 week grace. Let me see what they're going to do about that.
If 1 week they don't do anything about that, but you've heard this news, what would you do?
Oh, then the gas bus is coming.
What do you mean? What's the gas bus?
If they
are you going to go on the internet?
No. But see, we react differently. Those who go internet,
I want to know what you. I know, but you as a person, what would you do?
I'm telling you what I would do right now. I will take my own step. I may not come to the internet. My own reaction would be that if they burn your papa, come add your mama, join, go to that place, go throw my mama out. That would be my own reaction. Let the boy do that. MOP. Oh, forget matter.
Yeta what your reaction must be to take your mother in. What is stopping you from taking your own mother in?
You are not MOP. Let not play this game like this. You answer the question yourself.
I will answer. Not to say, how do you know the parents have not spoken? Okay, so these are the questions they are asking you. My own thing is, I want to know why you would not go to the internet, Uncle Beno. Why not the choice of going to the internet?
MOP, we handle matter differently. Do you go to the internet where you face any issue?
What is so different about you that you won't go to the internet? I want to know what is different about you that you won't go to the internet and go and cast your siblings, because they've offended you clearly. And it's not the first time they've offended you. They've been offending you for years, and you can't stand that woman, that SU woman.
MOP, we've had this conversation severally here.
Mhm.
You cannot you cannot beat a child and then you want to control how that child reacts. The people these days, the people who go to the internet to whine and shout. Now their own style. There are people who go to the internet, who they go internet. I'm a content creator. People insult me almost every day when I they do show.
I know now,
Did I
but
did
no.
I
But
reply to them?
why shouldn't we? I want to know, in your own take, why shouldn't we go that route? We can't just say everybody react their own, because that will make our platform the same as everybody else, where
MOP,
everybody can react anyhow.
for
Here,
me,
we try to counsel people on the best way to move. Right? It doesn't mean they'll
okay,
follow us, but somebody might be listening, and they might be in the situation where it is crisis in the future, right? And they're
okay,
now, and they're like, I heard Uncle Beno, and what he said made sense. It's not just because he's trying to force his idea down my throat, but what he said made sense to not do it that way, to go the other route. Why shouldn't people go? Should people like this, not Regina Daniels, because that one is being controlled by as a puppet, but I'm talking about these grown people, right? Isaac Fayoshe and Bosse Fayoshe. Why, in your own opinion, shouldn't they go to the internet? You are right, too, that they have the right to do whatever they want. I wanted to know your own opinion, why they shouldn't.
okay. This is me. We handle issues differently. For me, the reason I won't go to the internet is the internet is not going to fix shit. It will only make it worse. It will only become content. That is why you are running almost 1 hour on the Amata now already. That's one of the reasons why I won't go there. Even though it's just content, it's just an avenue for people to make money. He won't say, he won't do anything. The only reason that I can ever go to internet is if the other party, they are out there on the internet running their mouth and it's becoming a kind of disgraceful
Uncle
situation
Beno,
to
sorry
my
to
family.
interject.
Then
I won't let you water down your own wise counsel.
I'm explaining it now.
There
You
is
are asking one
somebody.
question.
No,
Before I
you
finish
said it's
one, you
just
ask
content.
another question.
You said it's just content. I don't agree. There's somebody listening to Uncle Beno right now who just
And
got
let
that
me explain
wisdom.
the MOP. You didn't let me finish.
No, but you said it's just. No, we can't let that slide. You said it's just content. It's not just content.
MOP.
One person, all we need is one person that will get this lesson from you and will move differently in the future, and they will benefit greatly from it. It's not just content.
MOP, here is the thing. When you ask me one question, I've tried to explain it like 4 times now, but before I will land, you will still pick on one thing I asked. So you didn't let me
I
land.
apologize for that, but I need to
I'm
correct you on that.
explaining, you bring
Okay,
it back,
no,
and I'm
your
addressing it.
your words are powerful. Somebody is listening
Jesus.
to you, and they will benefit from that first thing you said. The first thing you said, Uncle Beno, is that the internet will only make it worse. That's one
Then
piece.
let me land my point, MOP. You asked me, why won't I do what Isaac and his sister is doing? And I'm explaining it.
Okay.
I said the reason I won't do it is because going to the internet will not resolve situation. It won't bring anything positive.
Yes.
It will only make it worse because people will just use it to create content. That's what I'm saying. Now, coming to how I will handle situation like this. Me, I have my own unique way of handling situation. One of my unique ways is, as soon as you piss me off to the point that I want to react, I'm not talking. I'm not talking. Nobody is hearing everything. Even that's why those that really know me up close, they know. Once I want to make my move now, once they say, I don't keep short, I know they talk, I know they address the issue, I know they bring them up again. Those who really they close to me, they don't already go to the president guy. We know say you don't develop. Because the thing is, if I want to react to what you did to me that is painful, I don't want you to see me coming. That's why I'm not doing internet thing. If I go internet, I already go tell you what thing I won't do. You not go escape. So I'm not going to the internet. My own thing will just be, okay, Shebi, you say you won't come beat my mama, Abi. You go bother my mama for sure for house. Don't back to be yala ya eda. Go do am first. Then wait for whatever happens to you. And when whatever will happens to you is gonna happen, I will be the least person you are going to suspect that came for you. So that's how I move. I move silently. If those who really know me up close, they know. If you do me anything and I'm talking, That is me trying to reason with you. That is me
Mhm.
not having any resentment or any, I don't want to take any action that can be detriment to you. That is me. So once I'm talking, just listen to me, let us sort it out. But as soon as you push me to the point whereby I stop talking, ah, tiẹ̀ ti bá ẹ nìyẹn. That's just me.
Well, that's still a form of reaction, but certain
Mhm.
reactions are more destructive than the others,
Why
and
won't it be
that's
destructive? I want it to be destructive. That is
no,
why
no,
I'm not
no,
talking.
no. Your own is not destructive. I'll tell you. You already said it. The internet is more destructive because you invite all of this attention, right?
Uh-huh.
So that is what I want us to pinpoint. You're not going to the internet because it is, regardless of your intentions, it is ultimately destructive behavior. And we can't stress that enough. Unless you're running for your life, which is the category that Regina falls in, right? If you're running for your life and you need attention, because sometimes we like, for example, what even Isaac Ayoshe did today, right? With regards to the Tinubu and the 25 buy that happened, right?
Mhm.
That form of relationship is a precedent to citizen relationship. You're bringing attention, you're calling him out for that, right? It's not a personal relationship. But when we call something personal relationship, it's a very dicey thing, right? Unless you are running for your life, it becomes a matter of actual survival. The
Yeah.
internet is always going to be destructive. I think we owe it to our audience to tell them that, and not tell them that everybody react differently. The react differently. The reason why I push against it is that that is a fact that we already know. All of us agree on that one. But which type of reaction is better than the other? I am not going to sit here and tell that regular husband and wife, every time they get a chance, she run to the internet and drag their family.
Yep.
Nothing good comes out of that. I think it's
Absolutely.
okay we tell people straight up that, without bringing in the Gen Z generation talking point. Because I don't know why you're doing Gen Z generation talking points. Everybody reacts differently. That's what Gen Z people say. We don't need to be saying that. We know that
No,
already.
Baba. No, no, no. We have to say that for those who cares to listen and learn. The
Why?
reason we have to, yes, let me explain. The
Mm-hmm.
reason we have to say that is that they need to know that whatever action they are taking, whoever is at the receiving end of that action, you cannot determine how they are going to react. So that is why you have to be careful. So, and that's why the reason that saying that you cannot determine how people will react, I think that's the lesson there. That, hey, listen, before you take the first action, think about the fact that you may not be able to control how this person will react. That's what, is that not what we preach when it comes to
I
husband and wife
agree.
situation? That we usually tell men and we tell women, before you do this to your husband or you do this to your wife, oh, always remember how they will
I
react
agree. So,
matters.
Uncle Beno, let's apply it to the person who want to jump on the internet. How
Now,
your family members might react, you can't control it. To be careful, Google, be careful. Express lo ń jáwọ́ yẹn. That's how we would apply that sentence, right? Not to use it to exonerate them because they'll collect.
no,
That's
it's
the
not
way.
exoneration. It will
Uh-huh.
just escalate the whole thing. So both the
Uh-huh.
person that, because my own thing is, I've always said that I'm a consequentialist. If I want to do anything, I've grown to a point whereby I will think, if I take this option, what will
Uh-huh
be
now.
the record or the result?
Thank
How will this
you.
person take it? If I take this other alternative, what may likely be the reaction? I usually
Yeah.
think about that. So that's why I kept telling people that before you make the first move, think about the outcome. It's
Thank
just like when we
you.
when we talk about DV situation. One of the things I always tell women is this: look, some husband they will press your button, oh, but no matter how they press your button, don't
Mhm.
ever put yourself in such a close space. You be in their eyes. Don't do it
Don't
because
do it, oh.
by the time
Mm-hmm.
you hear that way, where he and the wife said that they do COST, wait on say, oh, I was trying to remove her hand, then my phone touch her.
I know, I know. I remember that part. I remember that part.
So that's the point, Baba. Now
Yeah.
coming to Fayoshe and the
Mm-hmm.
mom. Here is what I would have done if I found myself in this situation.
Yeah.
If I have issue with my siblings, they are choking me. I don't do it tire me. Because you know what? I will kukuma abandon all of you. I will all equally remember that we still have a mother that binds all of us together. Are you following me now?
Yes.
Are you following me now?
Yes.
So, if my son, whatever they did to my son, if my son got aggravated to the point where my son now say, well, I'm going to that house, I will throw grandma out. If the get my talk, well, we could do. As soon as I'm aware that this might be what my son would do, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm calling all my siblings, even though we haven't spoken in 10 years. I'm
Mm-hmm.
calling all of them. Now, whether they pick my call or they don't pick my call, I will, yeah, even after talking to them, I will equally send a message to them on WhatsApp.
Mm.
The same thing, no, that I expressed verbally, I will follow it up with a message on WhatsApp. Those that have dealt with me, they know how I operate already. Why am I sending a message on WhatsApp? So that over Dr. Waju, if alarm blow, I get receipt.
Mm.
That's what I would have done. It is not okay for a boy to say he's going to throw the grandmother out of the house. I saw what one of my sisters dropped in the chat that the best move is to relocate mama. No,
You know,
relocating mama. No,
I,
wait.
eh,
Relocating mama. That option comes as for me. That option comes
mhm.
until I see that the boy, papa, the mama, they not do nothing, and the boy finally throw my mama house. Yes. Now I will step in. My mother will not sleep outside. I will step in, but I have to allow them to actually do it.
Now, Okubeno, allow me to interject. Okay, I have a question. Okay, and because of what you just said with regards to that boy, I think they said his name is Boluchuku. Boluchuku Fayoshe. Oluwayoshi. They said Bolu said he would throw Mama out, right?
Mhm.
Now, Isaac Fayoshe, the one wearing this t-shirt, green t-shirt here, he said what he said, cursed his brother out, called him selfish, cursed his brother's wife out. He's been doing that for a while, by the way, and he did everything. What do you think? I want to ask you for both of them. What do you think Isaac Fayoshe's ultimate motive is? To go on the internet to say this to the internet and not call his brother and say it to his brother. Motive.
Because first of all, they are not on talking terms. Secondly, he just wanted to like let the world know this is who my brother is. And two, he's daring his brother. He's angry and he's trying to show his brother that whoa, I'm being in the entire world. We know what we cook and the house got burnt.
I want to
So
go
I
back
know
to I want to go back
he's
to
so
your
wrong with
second
all of
reason.
that. Mhm.
I want to go back to your second reason, right? He wants to let the whole world know. Okay, that's surface level. Why does he want the whole world to know? That will tell us the motive. What is the motive for
Uh,
wanting the whole world to know?
like from my own point of view,
Yeah.
he's just being stupid and dumb with whatever he's doing. So, and I'm not going to exonerate his brother too. There is a
Mhm.
reason you have to move certain way. It's okay to have issue with your brother. Siblings fight all the time. But at a point, you have to make sure certain things are handled in certain way that even though the person you are trying to resolve issue with is not taking it, but at least as the elder, there are some steps you have to take. But with the character of Uncle Fayoshe is as stubborn. He's from Ekiti.
I
He's as
told you.
stubborn as ever.
I don't think we need to teach
Oh,
people Fayoshe's behavior. Fayoshe that's making
eh.
employees kneel down in front of Ministry of Work. Let's leave that one
Okay,
alone. Let's,
okay. So that's just
let,
my
let,
point.
let me leave that
So
for a second. Okumeno, I didn't get the motive that I obviously I don't have. It's not like I have something I want you to say per se, but I want something that hits the root a little bit better. It's either his paint, it's one of these two, or somewhere close to that. It's either his paint, he wants to paint his brother badly to the world, or he wants to paint his brother good to the world. It has to be one of those two. He's destroying his character or he's building his character. It has to be one of those two or some form of that. What is his motive? If I take that back to Boluchukwu, what is Boluchukwu's motive for saying what he said allegedly to his grandmother?
You know, we are not in their family, but this is what I can say.
No, wait, just assuming he said it, right? Just for saying that.
They said the fruit does not fall far away from the tree. So he's probably maybe his father's son. That's all I can say. Because I don't see any reason why a grandson should have that animosity towards his grandmom to the point of saying, I will throw you out of that. Definitely that boy is living fine. He's okay. Many of these governors, their children went to the best school. Their father is already rich. They are set up. So I don't see whatever his motive is, other than he probably have his father's blood running all over his body. I just want to be stupid and dumb. That's all I see.
All right. Yeah. The reasons. Thank you so much for playing, being a good sport, Uncle Beno. The reason is never as simple as they are stupid or they are any of that stuff. Those are all labels. Those are simple reasons, and they are never. It's usually deeper than that. But this is my prediction, Uncle Beno. They have opened a can of worms. We're going to know more about them.
Yeah, it's entertainment. At least I go get content.
We go extract lessons. We too will go extract lessons. There's so many things going on here, but I don't want to jump ahead of them. They have opened a can of worms because you can't put human beings in a box. This is the very reason why we don't run to the internet. They have opened a can of worms. It's going to be a competition of who is madder than who is madder. Okay, we already know that Ayo Fayose is no one to back down for anybody. Him being at the center of all of this. Okay. We know that this guy has coconut head and he's trying to compete with his brother's coconut head. If he had a bigger coconut head, he will be the governor. He's not the governor. That's the reality. Okay. And it looks like he's competing with that. It looks like he's a truth teller. So people applaud him because he's a VDM of that family. But he's not innocent either. Okay. According to the sister had told on him that he was the thug that was being used to talk against other politicians by Ayo. It's just that they're biting themselves in the butt now. She told on him. So they've opened a can of worms now. They will continue to tell on themselves. The son, Boluchukwu, we already know that one character without knowing him yet. He's going to come out and speak his truth too. because he wants to. He's going to be the only person that will not speak. Is probably the most powerful of all of them. It's probably two of them.
That's the wife for me.
That's the wife. She will never say a word. She will play. She will play. This is why I want to support you a little bit. She will play innocent all the way through.
No, she will be praying.
She'll be praying.
That's what they do. She will demonize all of them.
She'll be praying.
Fire prayer, like say tomorrow.
Now, at the beginning of this conversation, I could easily take an offense because my mother is an SU. Do you understand, Uncle Beno? I don't know if you've seen my mother's picture ever before. You probably haven't. Because I think you would have moved a little bit differently. My mother is an SU. She's obviously not a bad character woman, right? My mother is the SU that we say Oroko at Obono Yara, if it comes down to it. But, you know, she presented that's the church. That's where I grew up in my teenage years. You understand what I'm saying? And I know that they come in different shape and forms, just like the general public. Okay? But that look make people prejudge them, right? Even me, myself, I still prejudge deeper life.
Until you get to know them. You get to know them.
No,
not that they are different.
No, they're not different. They are just like the rest of us. They have good people among them. They have bad people among them, right?
No, what I'm saying is you will prejudge people. Will prejudge them.
People prejudge them exactly.
Oh, this is not what I don't know. Maybe you watched the show that I did when I said I attended the MFM and the Mountain of Fire between 1 week. No. Within 1 week interval. I attended the Mountain of Fire first because my mother-in-law is going to Mountain of Fire. So when she had her birthday, we celebrated the Mountain of Fire. And then the following week, I have one of my sisters from Obodo Imbo TV. She was celebrating a birthday for her.
He got a call. Are you there? I think it's
Yeah, I'm
gone.
here.
Okay, continue.
My EP is dropped.
Okay.
So I went there to do coverage in Deeper Life, and
Mm-hmm.
that single encounter in both churches changed my perception of how they conduct their services. And I gave the testimony during one of our
Of
Sunday
your
school
shows.
episode. Yeah.
Right, right, right.
So having attended that church once, it changed my entire
It
perspective
changed.
on
Yeah.
how they conduct their service, because I went there, I see how they pray, I see how
Mm-hmm.
they preach, and their preaching and praying align with
Mm-hmm.
my own kind of faith. The only
Yes.
thing, the only thing I don't agree with their style of preaching is this constant fear prayer point.
That's all Nigerian churches. Even the Anglicans are
So
doing it
that
these days.
so that fear prayer point is the
Yeah.
only thing I don't agree
The
with. That
Anglicans started doing that because they were competing against the trend, because everybody was moving to Pentecostal at that time. So they were competing, and so
so
they started to do, because Anglican that I grew up in, they were like
mhm.
Catholic. It's very, but
Okay.
eventually they started gravitating in that Pentecostal direction. Even some of the Catholics started having what they call the charismatic group of people that always also was adopting all that stuff. But it's just human beings, right? Anywhere you see a bunch of
Yeah.
human beings gather, it's the same sector. You will see some people, they will sell them badly. Then when you get to know them, you're like, you see, the same thing with when we group the tribe, right? Igbo people,
Yeah.
Hausa people, we have our generalized
Uh-huh.
stereotype about them. But when you get to know them, you're like, no, I know too many Igbo brothers that don't do that. You know,
You are
I
right.
just
You are right.
can't,
Look,
you know. So
I've had a
mhm,
lot of Muslim friends, and I've had a lot of friends from the north.
mhm,
We are close, but not that too close. But when I get to meet some other friends from the north now that I'm in the US, a typical example,
mhm,
Sister Natu and She
right.
Thinker, they are from the north. But
Mhm.
if they don't take their mouth, tell me, I even still they doubt whether those two they live north. Sef.
That
Sister
one that's from
Natu,
Akure. That not two ones from Akure now.
Sister Natu does not struck me like somebody who live one day in the north. She Thinker does not struck me like somebody who probably step in the north once. It's because
Yeah.
of the way they present, their understanding and all of that.
Shout out
So,
to Shin Thinker. Shout out to Shin Thinker too. Yeah.
so the thing is this, Baba. These churches, for instance, that fear prayer that they are doing, after a while, I think he put some of them on permanent state of fear. They read meaning to a lot of things they don't have to read meaning to. And somehow, some of them, they demonize a lot of people.
I mean,
So if
fear paralyzes us. You know,
so
fear can be a good motivator, but the negative side tends to be paralyzing people.
exactly.
Same thing that makes people even call their own mother witches these days. I don't know if you know that. That's an
Mhm.
epidemic in Nigeria right now. People are calling their own mother witches. They are calling their
And
own family member, a whole sector of their family. They say, don't go to that side though. If you want to, your mother will tell you to avoid a certain part of the family
mhm. The
because they
reason
are
they are
going to a
calling,
church
I
somewhere.
think the reason they are calling their mother wishes is because of the way the mothers move.
No, it's all you need is one poli. All you need is this guy right here, Kiloruko boy. This guy, Kiloruko,
Are
no,
you
this guy,
playing? What type of
Kiloruko boy.
We sure.
are you
This one,
playing? What type of plane is this?
what's that? Kiloruko.
I don't even
You,
see the screen.
you don't see the screen. They
I
call
just
them
I just come to the screen.
You they use your function to play.
that voice now. You don't know him. He's a viral guy on the internet.
You they use your function to play.
All you need is for him to tell you that your mother
Portable.
is with you. No, not portable. It's the
Oh,
other
the
one.
other one,
Omar,
King
he
Solomon.
wear King Solomon. All you need is King Solomon tell you your mother is with you in Nigeria. I promise you. Yeah, it might look like I'm trivializing. I swear. That's how simple it is.
Mhm.
That's how simple it is for a woli, a prophet, to sit on TikTok and just fearmonger all day long and call your mother a witch. That's all it takes on people in Nigeria. Then,
Mhm.
Uncle Beno, let's round up the show, Jerry.
Yeah, my own thing, my final take, what I would tell people is this. Please, if you are from Africa, Nigeria in particular, try to know what is expected in your family circle, in your environment, in your world generally. Try to know the expectations. Now, you cannot meet all the expectations, but knows the one that even if you want to camouflage it with no, the world has advanced than that. We are now progressive. Know the one that people will frown at, and the ones that even if they frown at it, the entire world will not agree with them as you are moving. There's always going to be problem between you and your siblings. If you come from a broken home, you just have to know
Any
how
home,
to move.
any home,
Uh-huh.
Uncle Beno. It doesn't have to be
So
broken.
maybe. So you just have to know how to move. For men, please, if you notice that anytime you are having issue with your siblings, your extended family or anything, and your wife is aware of it, but your wife is not saying anything, that is not a good thing.
You said that's
That
not a
right
good
there,
thing.
it's not a good thing.
What should she say?
This is what I mean. If you are having issue with your family, any of your family member or something, as far as your wife is aware of that issue, she has to try, even if it is against her own way of thinking or way of life or whatever. She needs to try, at least make some effort, talk to you about it. You may not agree at the end of the day, but women that might listen to this, just make effort, play the angel's advocate, not the devil's advocate here.
So,
Just for you
Uncle,
to
Uncle,
have
Uncle
safe
Beno,
landing.
as much you are presenting a very interesting angle here, as much as I want to end the show. So, what if she does that, and the guy still have coconut head? As we know, Ayofayoshe is not a chicken head, right? And they're still abusing her in the streets. How do you want her to handle that, even though she put in
Because
effort?
because she did not handle it well. Let's call it what it is.
Wait,
A stubborn man will be a stubborn man.
you think she could control Ayofayoshe?
No. It's like you are not getting what I'm saying now, MOP.
Please elaborate.
There are ways you get involved in matters just to exonerate yourself. You already know who you are married to. You know they may not change. But you just get involved so that you will know that, oh, I try. Even anybody that want to castigate you tomorrow, they will know that you play your part. A lot of
How
wise
would they
women
know
will
that you
do
played
that.
your part? What I have an uncle.
Okay, I'll give
who-
you an example.
Before you continue, Uncle, no, I'll give you this example. That I want you to give me as your example. I have an uncle that will tell you to shut up or I will slap you. Leave me alone, and will actually ban you from going to their house because he's angry with his own siblings. How will they know that you try your best in that situation?
That's the example I wanted to give. With these fire share situations, in case any woman that might find themselves in situations like this, if your son threatened to throw your mother-in-law out of the house that your husband built and put your mother-in-law there, as soon as that matter gets to you, call that mama, even if that mama now your sworn enemy, call her straight up. If she's within you that you can go and see her, go and see her. Let people know that you make effort. Go and apologize to that mama. The mama will be wish left. But just step in. Do something that people can reference in case when the matter turns to bad goes. After settling with mama, mama don't vex,
I'm
mama no
listening.
agree. MOP, I'm
listening.
saying this,
I'm listening.
I'm saying this from a place of wisdom. Who want here make MOP? Who want here make you hear? Who no one here? You no need to hear. Now, very simple thing. You know, these are all options. Like you say,
No,
some
Uncle
people
Ben,
may.
no. You know, Emma Binu, you know I will interject, especially if it's getting too interesting, okay? Yetasi says depends on the nature of the issue. Lima says, why is it always the woman's duty to settle family disputes in Nigeria, even when the wife has tried all possible best? Natu came back, said, MOP, that is my story. Oh, when I said, he said, you will ban you from going there. I will slap you if you try to talk to me again. Talk to me about this issue again. She said, I have tried to reconcile them. I still they chop insults.
Good. Now they are aware that she make effort. That's the point I'm making.
No, they are not aware. She's just telling us. They don't know that. She's
No,
just telling
no,
us. The
MOP, you are
siblings
the
don't know
one.
that.
No, you are the one who are looking at it that way. The siblings knew she made effort. They are just being coconut head. Even she herself, her conscience will tell her that I did the right thing. That's what's more important.
So she should do it for her conscience.
I'm telling you, there are some people that no matter what you do, they will not be satisfied. But you are making that effort for tomorrow, not today. You are making that effort to exonerate yourself from the situation. Fayoshe is Ekiti used to be part of Ondo State. Ondo people get agidi, even you when they talk to MOP. Now only blood of Jesus now enter your body. You too, you get to know it.
Okay, if you say so.
No, let's call it what it is.
We are not
Let's
like
call
trouble.
it Motigba. Let somebody press your button now. Let we see what thing go happen. So the thing is this: a man could be very, very stubborn that many of these our coconut head uncles, especially this one that they are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, no matter what you do, now what they their mind now they go do. I'm just saying for anyone who might find themselves in similar situation tomorrow, when anything happen between your husband and the siblings, you have to play a very obvious role, even if it is against what you believe. But for you to be on the safe side, play that role. Try.
Not to say they have no idea the effort I'm putting in, my brother.
No problem. But it's your conscience. Okay. That's where I'm coming from. I'm just sharing my own style of doing things. There are people, even in my own small world self, there are people that literally nothing can ever let me and them date the same
you know what it
space or
sounds like,
anything.
Uncle Beno? You know what it sounds like?
What does it
It
sound
sounds like people will bring you matters, husband and wife. And then after you listen to their story, you say, just beg your husband, go back home. That's what it
No,
sounds like.
I don't do that. That means people are not getting what I'm saying. Then there is no need to even
I'm not
say it.
getting it.
I just let it go.
Me personally, what I'm getting is that I won't say I'm not getting it, but what I'm getting is that she should put effort in, even if it's simply for her conscience. You said it. She should put effort in and not stand by. I'm also getting that there's an assumption here that woman has not tried. We're going by the behavior of Isaac and Bose Fayoshe, that she has not tried at all. That's what I'm getting. So correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I am giving general advice, not on the basis of Ayo Fayoshe and his wife. I'm just saying for people who might find themselves in similar situation, whether you like it or not.
Because I agree with your
you
first
are
statement.
Married.
I agree with your first statement.
See, whether you like it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whether you like it or not, so far you are going to get married and your husband have siblings. He still have papa, he get mama. Issue will always come up. These are the things that they don't teach a lot of modern day women.
They don't teach anybody, including men. They don't teach them. They think life is going to be perfect.
Issues will happen. The role you play matters. Siblings will settle one day. In case you don't know, that's the weirdest part of it. Siblings will settle one day. If you are aware of the matter and you do nothing, what do you want to talk? You just said that no get reservation. Say, you see the way that woman turned the whole thing over to the wife now. They drag the wife like say the wife na tiger generator. So all I'm saying is this: if you are married and your husband have siblings, even the same thing applies to men. Your husband have siblings, they have father, they have mom, and all of that. Anytime there are bigger issues, that your spouse is saying, "Laye, laye, I'm cutting these people off. I will show them shege or rumor for kiniko." Don't say they are very nasty, stupid, crazy people. Don't say that.
Yeah,
Just play
so
your
so
role,
if
Jeje.
if what you're saying is that they shouldn't say that, you're right, but that's one angle of it. You see what Yetasi says here depends on the nature of the issue. You're saying if we go by depending on the nature of the issue, you're talking about a situation where a person is joining the husband and cursing the siblings out. That's the specific situation you're talking about, Uncle Beno. And
It's
I
like
agree
you
with
people are
you.
not, you guys are
I
not
agree
getting
with
what
you.
I'm saying.
That's
Don't
what
worry, I don't want us to drag it, Baba. I'm just
I
giving
think.
my
I
own
think we should
simple
revisit it
advice.
because I think
No,
we
I'm
should.
just
I think we should revisit this topic. Maybe we'll come and do it with the real fam. I think you're more interested at the real fam, right?
no,
This
what I'm
issue
just
is
saying is look,
a depend issue because not some issues that you don't know the root of it. Truthfully, sometimes, Uncle Mendo, there's a place of prayer. I swear, this is one of those examples of a place of prayer where you will just pray because you do not know the root of that issue. If you don't know the root of the issue, but you know enough to, I'm agreeing with you now. You know enough to tell all your sibling in-laws to go to hell. Then I agree with you because you should never do that as a wife. You should never show that attitude. But if it's a situation where she does not know, she's actually trying to appease him. There's Yoruba man sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ now. You don't agree with that?
this
There's
has
some
nothing to do with Oremopi.
okay.
It's called wisdom. It's called wisdom.
You don't think there's
No,
wisdom in Oreniwon? You don't think there's wisdom in modesty in everything?
no, I mean Oreniwon is different from the the issue we are addressing now. Oreniwon is just a proverb that is applicable in some unique cases, maybe whereby you are
No,
being
not
nice to
doing
people
not
and all of
yeah,
that.
because that's what
Not
you're
with this
suggesting
one.
they should
This
do. You
no,
just call
this
it they
is
should do the right thing.
Baba, you're not getting it anyway, but I understand. I'm just saying for people in marriages, that's why they say marriage,
You
be
know what?
your
I'll tell you what
baby.
I agree with in what you said. I'll tell you what
Well,
I agree with. What I agree with is that you should you said you should know the people, your in-laws. You should know that's how you started. I agree with that. And you were going in the direction of even if you can meet all of it, right?
you don't even have to you don't have
Uh-huh.
to meet anything.
I agree with you on that. I'm paraphrasing what you said, right? I'm not saying exactly right,
Mm.
but you said they should get to know them, and there's some things you can do, even if you don't try to meet up or achieve, but just knowing them. I'm agreeing with you on that end, right? The part where I start to disconnect is where there's an actual issue, like this magnitude we're looking at here, right? Some family are dysfunctional, Uncle Beno. If you mistakenly marry into that place, I don't think it's a responsibility to carry that weight. That's where I'm struggling. I
I
think
am not it's
from
not
a prayer and
carrying
moral
weight.
support, place, I agree with you.
My own
But
thing is this is,
mhm,
like I said, we have unique way of handling issues. For instance, you have a very massive years under your belt as a married man. I have at least relatively by April next year, I'm gonna be married for 16 years,
mm,
and I would have been with the same woman now for 22 years by April next year. So
mm,
all I'm saying is this: there is a reason we stay that long in marriage, and you are still enjoying the marriage, and everything is still fantastic. And it doesn't mean that maybe there are no issues. Many of
right.
us we deal with all these type of family issues too. I'll give you an example. One time, a brother, we worked together, we became close, we were kind of party, we start talking, and he was having a very big issue that has nothing to do with him, but more to do with his wife. The wife's brother has been to jail several times, or to the point that even their mother that he was staying with, the mother get fed up. The mother threw that boy out of the house. Now, when the mother threw the son out of the house, a police got involved and all of that. The wife is now the one at the receiving end, because the brother, anytime he do wayward thing, he will start disturbing his own wife. And he was telling me this thing. He told me the story of how many things he has done, the sacrifices he has made, and everything. But at that point, when the mama finally threw the boy out, you know how he big for this US now. So he got to that point that for him, he was already exhausted. And it's like at this point, now their family matter, me they do it. I don't tire. I have things to do. And so I now told him that, hey, bro, I understand where you are coming from and everything you have done. But this throwing of the guy out of the house, this one is new. You have not encountered this type before. Here is what you are going to do. Even though your wife have already sworn that she's not going to get involved, nothing where anybody fit tell her. In fact, the wife, they para everything. I told him that because he was actually in support of the wife action, that they've stressed that too much and all of that. So I told him, bros, at the end of the day, taba fagbo, fagbo, you are the husband, this thing will still come back to you. Well, now that this guy is out there, if anything happened to this guy and he lost his wife, even your wife, where they talk now, say he no care, he no send. Remember, this is a brother. Now you they tell me the story now. I know they your marriage. This is a brother that you say your wife said that always be protective of them when they were in Nigeria growing up and all of that. If anything happened to this guy, if he die, your wife will still come back and be blaming herself. That if only she has at least tried do something. And as soon as your wife starts feeling guilty, this thing goes still spread, come back, and you may not like the outcome. So here is what you can do. Even though you are all sick and tired of the situation, you have to step in. First of all, call this guy. He's stubborn, he will not listen to you, he will still do listening, but call this guy. But when you want to call him, make sure you call him when your wife is around. Offer alternative solutions. Talk to him that any job, even if now when they call this work, labor work, where all these Mexican they do. Told him, tell
Menial
him
jobs.
to go and do that. Just give advice, give everything. Then call the mama, or better still, go your mother-in-law house. It's just 1 hour, 30 minutes or thereabout away. Go there, go talk to mama. Just play your role as a member of the family. At the end of the day, they may not listen. Everybody will still go ahead and do whatever they want to do. But you will know that at least, even though you are frustrated, even though their own wahala, their family wahala don't come big past you, it will be on record that you step in. It is far better that you saying yes, God finally catch him, whatever he got. Brother went after like 2 weeks. We see again. He tell me, say, Ben, thank you. I did what you say. In fact, even my wife kick against me. My wife fought me. My wife said I shouldn't be involved in anybody. I just say, you know what? Your family is my family. Your problem is my problem. If this boy is my younger brother, yes, I will say my mom should throw him out of the house. But at the same time, I'm still gonna remember he's my blood. So let me just wade in. He did. Guess what happened?
What?
Almost a year later now, because I the last time I saw him, it be like almost like this 6 weeks or 6 months or something. Almost a year later, the guy relocated to another city. He get to that city, he met another lady. I don't know whatever the lady did. They are now saying that the guy is beginning to get serious, that the lady he met is now pregnant. The same his own wife, where they vex, they para. The he and him brother don't they talk back again now. He did not, he no spend even 1 night, he no spend shishi. They still went after he say he spoke to them. They still went ahead though. They no gree take that boy, but the mama no take the boy back. Oh. They still throw him out of the house. So that's just what I'm saying. In this thing called marriage, your wife problem is your problem. Your husband problem is your problem. It's just like when Kevin Hart said, "Your BS is my BS is your BS." That is how marriage works. And for you to be saved, play the role you are supposed to play. It may not fix shit. That's just my advice. But it go dey record. Say, you play this role, oh, it's way different than you just say, well, everything I want to do. That's just all I'm saying. I'm not saying you should do it or you should not do it, but I'm just saying it's another alternative too. if you are facing similar situation.
I
That's
get
my take on it.
I get what you're saying, Uncle Beno. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for your input on this.
No wahala.
Family problems, no they finish. So we go continue. But
No wahala. Take your Abba.
run it by. I will check in with Abby. Run it by the real fam. See if they would like to have this conversation. I would like to join in
Ah.
to hear their take on this story, this particular story. I think it's a massive one.
I
But
think
they'll tell us
Sister
more.
Natu fit do that one. I go talk to Sister Natu. Maybe if you bring her to them, maybe we see if they will be interested in. But you know, say
Let's
like
see.
bad both. It make you no go turn to bad both
Well,
because they go say no. This is
yeah, but
patriarchy.
we
This
have
is keeping women down.
let's hear them out because this is causing a lot of issues in a lot of families. I mean, you could see some of these comments. I'm about to read someone and then I'll round up. But
Okay.
thank you, Uncle Venu. I appreciate you.
No
Your take,
wahala, MOP.
your take always add
Alright.
colors to it. You know me. I'm just one feet forward, and I'm seeing way ahead of us. But I like it how we take it layer by layer. I think people
Yeah.
benefit from that more.
Exactly. Thank you for having me, MOP. Shout out to Sister Natu and all the Prestige fam. We'll see
Yes,
tomorrow,
sir.
Baba. Take care.
All right, take care.
I'm listening though, but
Yeah,
I just come out here first.
No, yeah. All right, boss. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to round up. But let me come to your comments real quick. Yeah, it's interesting. Not to say that's our story. It's a lot of family story, including young family story. Okay, it presents a little bit differently, but it's the same issue, and it's a matter of boundary. And this is going to be one of the occasions where I have to put the heavier weight of the responsibility on the man. On the man. It's how a man handles his household. If we have the two men in this equation, if what they want to do is demonstrate that they can't have good relationships, like for example, Ayofayoshe himself lambasted Obasanjo right back. Obasanjo is on the external of what we're talking about. So let's leave him. We already know the story of Baba Obasanjo, even and his family. We know that situation. So this issue, there are patterns here if you pay attention, okay? And there's patterns with the type of men we're talking about. Isaac Fayoshe is the man who comes to the internet saying he has baby mothers all over the place and he tries to glorify it. It's bullshit. Okay, you can't spread your seeds all over the place, and your life it just takes a lot more energy to manage all of that, And obviously, even his relationship with his elder brother, I bet he thinks he's a victim. He's not a victim. It's not a victim of Ayofayoshe in any stretch of the matter. Everything I'm looking at here just sounds like entitled younger brother and younger sister. It doesn't mean Ayofayoshe is innocent. What I'm saying is that they are telling on themselves. Okay, the person who is doing the most talking often tell on themselves, and you can see the sister already casted him that he was a political thug of some sort, maybe for lack of better words. But he said he was using him to talk at other governors and other politicians. So now the snake is biting him. So we can see here that if the men in the household are acting like this, what do we expect exactly out of everybody else? The women, the children, what do we expect? So that's what I want us to pay attention to. So as much as it looks like, that's why I pushed against Uncle Beno a little bit on the everybody react differently. I know that, but me, I'm here to tell you that reacting a certain way is going to cause you more problems. That's my job here. So jumping on the internet, what are you showing to your shout out to the person that say his own nephews? Right? What are you saying what are you saying indirectly? What are you teaching your nephews, your nieces, your children in how to handle conflict in society? Well, what about at the family level? Now you're dragging your mother. I bet you right now the mother is at home saying, what is all this? Please, you guys don't kill me. That's what she's saying at home. They're not doing the mother a favor. They're not doing her a favor, no matter who they think they're defending. Isaac thinks he's defending the mother. Boss Fayoshe thinks she's defending the mother. You're not doing the mother a favor. You're doing yourself a favor. You just want to paint the person you consider an enemy, your own family. Short term, but short term that can be extended beyond because nobody is going to benefit from this when the family feuds. That's the reality. So it's kind of sad to watch. I think we should get lessons out of this. The lesson here is not that you should rush back and start begging all the family members to, the lesson here is to actually take the time. It's not every time that you need to rush back and be begging people. I believe that apologies are actually more destructive than they actually help, because most apologies come from a place that's not authentic. You need to take the time to understand what is actually going on, right? And there's a strategic place where you can use apologies, but it must be something that's well thought out. I don't think it's a good idea what we've been teaching ourselves for generations. It worked as once upon a time where you just said, please just beg your husband and go back home. It worked at some point, but that no longer works. Okay, we need to dig in a little bit deeper. We need to make sure there's substance behind our actions. So if you're going to apologize, make sure there's substance behind it, right? If you're going to speak to your husband about the hours that he's having with his own siblings, that needs to be done from a place of wisdom. It doesn't absolutely always work all at the same time, right? Sometimes it's actually going to backfire. And if you're doing it just to appease them, it's going to backfire because they won't see it in due time, and then you will get angry and then you will resent them because you were doing it for the wrong reasons in the first place. So I think much wisdom is required for that, and we can't really get to that part of that wisdom until we see some specific examples. Yetasi says, which records, the good deeds in the family or the police complain that you come to harass them? Some family members act like bandits. Some family members, you just have to avoid them. Just have to avoid them. Like if Asifayoshe was a brother to me, he's not spending a lot of time around me. It doesn't mean I'm better than him. I'm just saying our lifestyle don't align. They don't align. Like I can't be on the internet. Like what are we doing? Like what are we going to benefit out of this? The only thing I can do, acknowledge, is that he's angry with his brother. I can acknowledge that. I can also acknowledge that it's easier said than done, because some brothers might frustrate you to that point, but that's the point. Don't be reckless, because you might get so angry you will self-destruct. That's actually the point I'm making. But the reality is that some close family members will frustrate you to that level. So I want to acknowledge that as well. Shout out to Lima, says, I learned from my auntie's situation that you don't try too hard with in-laws. Yeah, you gotta apply wisdom. She did everything possible to keep her husband's family together, but she still chopped insults. Yeah, there's layers to why that happens. Okay, there are layers to why that happens, and that's what I'm hoping, that if Uncle Bendo can bring it to the real fam, maybe we can dissect it. Maybe spend about 8 hours. I'll let all of us spend the first 6 hours though. But yeah, maybe we can spend 8 hours getting to somewhere here. But this is a conversation that needs to be had, because oftentimes we wait until it becomes a Fayoshe story, but these things are happening underneath. I think the sister in London, I think she's out of order. Okay, I actually don't need to know the backstory for her. I think she's completely out of order. She might have her reasons for that, but completely out of order. I think Isaac Fayoshe is out of order. Everybody celebrating them in the chat is just, Uncle Beno is right that it's just content for most of them. I think Ayo Fayoshe has done a terrible job at keeping his house in order. I think that's what that is, and it shows. I mean, he's one of the leaders that we have in Nigeria. Sadly, I mean, you can look into their families. Look at the Fani Kayode, right? Look at some of the leaders we have in Nigeria. I mean, it's obvious. That's why I keep telling you, it's the same thing. Leadership in the household is basically what translates to become leadership of the nation. We struggle with leadership in Nigeria, okay? We struggle with leadership. When people say, oh, if you come back and train your kids in Nigeria, I'm always asking, like, show me the evidence. Is it your leadership? Why do you think it's better to come and train kids in Nigeria? If I could, I would, but it won't be because of Nigeria. Okay, it will be because of what I apply, the methods, the strategy I apply to parenting, not because of Nigeria. All that is bullshit. Dead on the surface. Just look at the evidence we have. Okay, we vote people that are radicals. We rather vote radical people with wayward lifestyles into office. We'll rather do that. That's the reality. So I'm not exactly surprised that their internal circle is not settled either. I'm not exactly surprised. It's sad. We don't have it. We need to start building it. The skill set, the competence of leadership. So I have to put this on the men in this equation, because if the men were acting right, trust me, Boss Fayoshe, Feishara Fayoshe, Ati Mama Fayoshe, they will follow those men to whatever they want if they can conduct themselves properly. And it's going, if they try to become the men, it gets worse. Those women will end up resenting you even worse, because that's not really their position. It's out of order. It's not their position in the family. Okay, their position is to nurture, is to, they make a home out of the tone that we set. That's the way it works. It's not the other way around. So I'm not surprised that it's messy. So now, can a woman play a role in helping you creating a safe space where people can feel centered? Yes, but it cannot be centered as a major thing. We can't center that. Uncle Beno says not 8 hours. I beg. We'll let them talk. Me and you, Uncle Beno, will let them talk for 6 hours, and then we'll join them like 2 hours to the last 2 hours. So that's my take on that. But I have a very strong, my prediction is that they've opened a can of worms. More and more people, even if it's not them, more and more people are going to come out and tell us more about the dynamics of that family, because that's the thing with internet. The internet is like the women, it multiplies. Right? You've opened a can of worm, now you have to tell us the rest of it, unless you stop. And to stop is a very difficult thing to do. Who's going to tell Azifayoshe to stop? Coconuted. Who's going to tell Ayafayoshe to stop? The only thing that can distract Ayafayoshe is maybe another office somewhere. Is he still trying to become a senator? I'll be president of Nigeria. I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you are notified when we go live. Baba Obasanjo does look very disgusted here while he's laughing, and he looks like he's trying to run away from him. Save me, save me. He said, "You don't." I think he made a statement somewhere that you don't act like you're well trained. He said it at the party, something like that. He came to the party to come and lambast him. It was rough, but I couldn't really get a clean video for that one. But let's leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Isaac and Ayafayoshe story today. It's sad to watch, but it's the same issues we've been talking about. It's about relationships. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. I'll be back very soon. Okay, take care and God bless. Peace.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.